stand for a pregame prayer. Compassionate Lord, we pray for those who have been devastated by recent hurricanes. We remember those who have lost their lives so suddenly. We ask your blessing on all those who have lost their homes, their livelihoods, their security, and their hope. Bless the work of relief agencies and those providing emergency assistance. Help us to respond with generosity in prayer, in assistance, in aid, to the best of our abilities. Lord, we pray in thanksgiving for the blessing to be gathered this evening in community for this football game. We ask your blessing to enter into this competition in a spirit of sportsmanship. Protect and guide us this evening. In your name we pray. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a great country with freedoms like no other. To honor America and in respect for all who have served this great country to defend these freedoms, you are all invited to stand and sing our national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner.
As the Altar Marching Band rains down the sweet sounds of the national anthem here in Sugar Creek, Ohio at Bellbrook High School and Miami South Stadium, we get ready for another weekend of football. Joel Sackenheim, Dan Vogt, Michael Martz, glad to have you here with us on The Report, as well as on Badin's live stream on their Huddle and their social media page as well. They're importing our audio tonight, and we're glad to have a very big listening audience with us here for Badin and Altar. Dan, I say Badin, I say Altar. That's pretty much enough said, right?
It's a great game with a great tradition. Altar really dominated early on. Badin has had their number the last few years with the rise of Coach Yorty, but I'll tell you, I don't want to be cliche and say you can throw the records away, but these teams always have good records anyway. So I'm looking forward to a really slobber-knocker, hard-nosed game, probably a little bit low-scoring. We all had our little predictions before the game. Every one of the predictions, which we don't like to tell on the air, but they're all low-scoring. So
nobody put a number higher than 21 on our sheet there, Dan, did they?
Yeah, no, they didn't. So it's going to be interesting. Joel, looking at the stats for Altar, you told me in advance that they lost their senior quarterback earlier in the year.
Yes, the senior quarterback. His name is Gavin Connor. He started the first two games. He started all 15 games for them last year when Altar made a run all the way to the state semifinals and lost to Steubenville. That's been a huge loss for the Knights.
Right, and they got a freshman quarterback in there right now. His name's Finn Freshwater. Looks like the toss was done earlier, obviously. Badin, I think Altar won the toss, and they elected to defer. Here we go.
Here comes the kickoff deep to the Rams and bobbled by James Brink, the wide receiver, who's going to be rattled up and inside his own 10-yard line. And field position advantage Altar to start out with.
Yeah, this is just what Altar wanted, electing to kick off now, putting their best unit on the field, which is their defense by far. They held a vaunted McNicholas club to only 7 points. They did lose 7-3, but McNicholas has been really, Joel and I think they are the class of the GCL
They're
right
tough.
now.
They're real tough,
I think
McNicholas.
McNicholas, they shut him down. Here we go.
Spread formation for the quarterback, Colton Emerson. He's got 4 wide receivers and, of course, the only returning starter on offense, Lem Grayson from last season's team. Back there is the tailback, number 1 now, next door. The handoff goes to Grayson. He's going to try to bounce this thing outside, and he is wrapped up there by number 1 and number 2, Okemdi Eze and John Cayley of Alter.
Yeah, Okemdi Eze, interesting guy. Runs back kicks. He's 4th in the GCL in tackling with 56. So a kickoff returner, punt returner / linebacker. Seems to be able to do it all. And you saw him there with the first tackle.
Folks, we got a guest also in our booth today, Michael Martz. And Michael Martz is a college student he's over in Pennsylvania. You went to Edgewood, I believe, for high school, right, Michael?
Yes. Started 3 years on the men's bowling team for the Cougars.
And pass out to the side. Quick out. That's going to be caught. That's number 13, James Brink. He's been the leading receiver for the Rams this year. It's going to set up 3rd down and short. So, Michael, you go to St. Vincent, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you're hoping to get into broadcasting. You what, a freshman, sophomore in college? What year are you?
I'm a freshman now.
Freshman in college. Okay, excellent.
3rd and 1 here. I didn't mean to talk
You
over
go ahead,
you.
Dan.
I think we're going to see maybe some Grayson action over the middle here. We'll see what happens.
We've got shotgun formation. Grayson a hair behind him. It looks like a run, doesn't it?
There he
it
is.
I don't think Alter was fooled.
Boy, they were ready. If I can pick it, they can pick it, right?
Oh, they knew exactly what was coming. Nolan Ogburn, the defender, into the backfield, blowing that play up.
Well, there you go. One thing about Alter's defense, you got to switch it up a little bit, not be predictable.
4th down, and Badin is going to play field position as well, trying to punt here. The punter on the play is going to be Ben Sakash. He's a junior, wide receiver / defensive back / punter. Look at Alter is at the 45-yard line looking to return this thing, and it's going to be caught around midfield. No, it's going to be bouncing. Takes an Alter bounce and rolls backwards. Unfortunate bounce for the Rams as Kai Samples finally downs that thing. The Alter Knights are going to have fantastic field position to start this drive at the 42-yard line.
So there you go. They flipped the field already on the very first series. Badin stopped on that critical 3rd and 1. Alter gets the ball. Beautiful field position with their freshman quarterback. His name is Finn Freshwater. So Finn's learning on the fly here.
Freshwater, you see out there is number 18 going behind center. We have the traditional wishbone formation that End Dome Sides has been running forever and ever and ever for the Knights. Man goes in motion. That's number 48. And a handoff straight to the fullback up the middle. That's Mikey Rose. And Rose is going to ground his way for about 3 yards. A very nice 1st down play, gentlemen.
Simple dive off the right there between the guard and the center. Good push there by the Alter line. You're going to see a lot of Alter runs. This is what they do. On the season, Alter only has 1 touchdown pass. That's in 7 games, folks. That shows you how run-dominated this team is.
Well, when you lose your senior quarterback the 2nd game of the season,
Yes.
and you got to play a freshman. Would you say, Dan, about the future is now for Alter?
The future is definitely now for Alter.
Freshwater's going to pitch this on the triple option.
Now, Badin was ready.
Yeah, Drew Cripps is going to get the negative rushing yards on that play. That really is not his fault as Badin's defensive line jumps into the backfield to break that thing up.
Yeah, that was Trent Owens, number 1 on tackles for Badin. He's the junior linebacker, 5'10", 200 pounds. They was ready for that play as Alter was stopping Badin on the 3rd and 1. Big 3rd down here, Joel.
How aggressive do you guys think Alter should be here?
I personally would try a little swing pass out of the backfield, maybe a short pass, nothing deep.
What do you think, Michael?
I completely agree. Just
Freshwater's going to try to juke one man. He's got a man at the sticks. It's a completed pass. He's a yard short, but that's going to put Alter in position where they can have a manageable 4th down. The catch was made there by Parker Flanders.
Nice play.
25.
We called that one a little bit. Just a nice, safe pass out there. I was surprised just how open he was. Very makeable fourth down for Alder.
4th and 2 is where Coach Domesize has lived for 30 years. That might be his mailing address, actually, come to think of it.
Let's see how many men Badin has in the box here. That you just count the down linemen and the linebackers, see how close they are. If they have 9 or 10 up there, you know it's gonna they're looking run.
Only one wide receiver to the bottom of the screen. This is going to be a straight run up the middle.
And Badin stops them. Yes.
Absolutely not. 4th down stop there. And so Badin is going to have much better field position the second time around than they did the first time through. Nobody was fooled on that, Dan.
No, and someone before the game predicted a final score of 6-3, and he seems to be the one that might have the best pick. That wasn't me, by the way. I'm not a braggadocio guy.
Now, hang on. I wrote down 6-3 in overtime, which means it's going to be nothing going into OT.
All right, good fourth down defense, or third down against Badin. Rams have flipped the field. They get it to 35 now, first down.
Much more manageable, more room to be able to work with the offense here. As the quarterback, Emerson, hands the ball off to the running back, Grayson, who's loose.
Oh, he is gone.
All the way gone. The Alter is not catching Lem Grayson. All the way, he checks a peek back over his shoulder just to make sure everything's open. He's got that thing. The Badin Rams have a 6-0 lead on the very first play of drive number 2.
Lem Grayson, a 65-yard run. Interesting there, he just kind of stopped, hesitated, kind of a Le'Veon Bell type run. Once he busted through and broke that tackle, nothing but clear, nothing behind him, just boom, and he's got speed. Shocking play against Alder's great defense.
Grayson with the 65-yard touchdown run. That was very easy, as they say in Staples, right? 7 minutes. Oh, extra point is no good.
Wow.
So with 7:57 left to go in quarter number 1, Lem Grayson has put the Badin Rams on top with a 65-yard TD run, and Badin has a 6-0 lead. Michael, what'd you see out there?
Lineman gave him a good block right there, and he just took that one right to the crib, as they say, as the young kids say on EA College Football 25, to the crib.
Hey, Michael, Mayahara, he was 17 for 17 in extra points prior to missing that. Now, do you think coaches, when they miss that extra point, they should continue kicking extra points on subsequent touchdowns, or do you think they should maybe go for a 2 to get that point back on the second score, so to get up to 14? What's your philosophy on that?
My philosophy, I would say, that's a tough question. I would honestly, I would only go for 2 if there was a penalty and make it a 1-yard opportunity.
Okay, great.
I like that.
I like that
I'm
answer.
seeing more NFL coaches, even college coaches, doing that as well.
Yes.
John Kitten actually did that against Coleraine last week.
Yes, he did. Nice kickoff by Badin.
Alter's going to go ahead and return this thing. That's Eze.
Nice tackle.
Eze runs into a herd of Rams. Second week in a row, we've got to use the phrase herd of Rams. They're wearing different colors tonight.
What's a herd of knights? We got to figure that out.
Oh, everybody's heard of Knights.
Okay. Very good, Joel. You're witty tonight.
You're going medieval on us there, Dan. That's good.
All right. First down, Alter. Alter cannot let that get them down. They're going to have to plug away with the running game, but I did like that little swing pass in the flat, but Badin was ready for him on 4th. We're already at 7:51 here in the first quarter.
First down and 10 for Alter, and I'll tell you what Coach Domesides would love right now is a 7-minute and 51-second drive to end the quarter at the other goal line.
Yeah. Coaches love those 16-play drives. Badin, boom, right up the middle. As John Madden used to say, he lost his head there, or his hat. And
the problem that Alter's going to run into, though, is that Badin's defensive line is not Carroll's.
No.
Alter ended up having their best game of the season against the frauds that are the Carroll Patriots with a 43-7 final, I believe.
Joel, have you got any Carroll Patriots hate mail? You were just hammering that team.
Poor Carroll. No, Carroll has been a godsend to the GCL.
Yeah.
Because of their non-conference schedule. They went
Pontus
4-0, played
Tech.
Pontus Tech and Tecumseh. And so now everybody that plays Carroll gets 23-second level points.
Well, they love Carroll
when
for
they
that.
beat up on Carroll. Badin beat them last week 56-7. So
Ooh, interesting play there.
I don't know that timed exactly right, but only about a yard-ish, maybe not even that.
I think the quarterback was supposed to catch that and hand it off, but the snap back almost kind of looked end over end like a punt.
It had a little floaty quality to it, didn't it?
Float, and the running back said, I better grab that ball. All right.
Messed up the timing, that's for sure. 3rd down and 7. Not the most favorable down and distance for the Alter Knights, and Badin's defense, I think, already smells blood in the water.
Yeah. Or the fresh water. There you go.
Fresh water, that's right.
Finn Freshwater. I think he should throw it. He was great on that first throw. They got the wideouts ready for him.
They've got a shotgun formation now for Freshwater. He's going to drop back for a traditional passing play. Throws a spiral, well overthrown.
Boy.
The intended receiver on the play was Chimi Eze, and I guess Chimdi is going to be the brother of Okemdi Eze. 2 brothers there, number 1 and number 15 for Alter. Well overthrown.
Little nervousness there, I think.
Oh.
I think his adrenaline just got the best of him there. He fired that ball.
Cut him loose, and it's going to be a 4th down. Dan, I don't know if you got to see. You were watching some of the Cincinnati Country Day
Oh,
broadcast.
I watched it last
Their
night.
quarterback was amazing,
Oh,
wasn't
my
he?
gosh. His bombs were just perfect spirals, as you were saying through the broadcast.
Oh, my goodness.
Best high school throw I've seen this year.
Including
Look at that kick. Whoa!
Over the head of Badin's return man, number 4. And Brown, Declan Brown, is going to try to break a couple tackles. And he's not going to get much. I will say this. Alter may have some injury problems. Alter may be a little searching for some explosion, but their fundamentals are always good, and they're going to wrap up and tackle defensively.
That ends up being about a 49-yard kick plus a roll, and then Badin couldn't advance it very far. So that's a great way of flipping the field and staying in the game. Now, Alter ultimately wants to get a 3-and-out here and trying to get the ball back with better field position. Badin's obviously going to want to do otherwise.
Badin had a rough start to the season, lost their first 2 games.
Yes.
And have not lost since. This is going to be a designed running back direct snap to L.T. King. And L.T. King springs ahead for about 2 yards. That's where he lays his crown.
I like that L.T. King. He sounds like a Memphis bluesman.
He does sound like, is he related to
L.T.
B.B.
King.
Yeah,
L.T. King does Memphis. That's a little-known live album they put out a couple years ago.
Straight out of New London, right? 2nd down and 8.
Well, New London is known for their blues.
That's right.
All right, 2nd and 8.
Shotgun formation. They're going to look over at the sideline to get the play call after examining Alter's defense. 4 down linemen. Looks like a 5th guy potentially blitzing as the linebacker. Now backing off in coverage there. We'll see if Alter's disguising something or sending them. It looks like it's going to be a run with Grayson. And Grayson bottled up by the interior of the Alter defensive line. Not a lot of room there. A lot of yellow bodies.
Yeah, when Badin spreads it out like that, they're just hoping to hit a crease there, but Alter was not fooled at all. They knew it was right up the middle. I was wanting Grayson to, pop it outside there, but he just, it was so clogged in the middle he couldn't see around the ends very well. Big 3rd down for Badin now. So, like I said before, these teams defensively are stout.
All the way back in 2019.
Yeah.
Dan. That was the last time Badin started out 0-2.
Okay.
We'll hold this for this play here on 3rd down and 7. We'll see what Badin is able to accomplish.
Yordy's first 2 games.
Yeah. There's a slant pattern.
Oh!
Incomplete intended for Brink. Almost intercepted by Drew Cripps.
They were on the brink of an interception.
They were on the brink of an interception there, and Badin's going to have to punt this ball. That was the last time, 2019, that Badin started 0-2. That was the only time they ever lost to Ross that year in overtime. Yeah. They lost to Talawan and Coach Larry Cox the week after that. And Badin completely scrapped their playbook and everything they were doing at that point in time.
They were running like the Terry Malone.
A wing tee, almost an Edgewood style of wing tee.
Full power backfield.
And they ended up doing a lot of the same running philosophies, but out of a spread.
Nice punt.
As there's a punt for Say Cash. It's going to be bobbled and then returned.
He's got the room.
There's a crease. The return man is Drew Cripps, the one who made the defensive breakup on the previous play, and Alter is in business.
Drew Cripps, obviously, he knows how to run the ball. He's their second best running back statistically, 4 touchdowns this year. He's known to do kickoff returns, but he was back there for the punt most of the time. Okem Eze, if I said that correctly.
We hope we got Eze's name right.
Yeah.
Normally we tried to go down to the sideline and get some pronunciations, but we had
he could be easy.
One of our broadcasters stuck in traffic tonight. One of our broadcasters went to Alter tonight instead of went to Bellbrook. It happens, right, gentlemen?
It does.
There it is. Freshwater's going to hand this off out of the spread formation now.
Nice.
The fullback, Noah Jones. It seems like he's been there at Alter for forever, but he's only a junior. He's got one more year of eligibility after this.
Alex Pate with the tackle, the junior linebacker. The tradition of Pates at Badin High School is amazing. They go back even when this old broadcaster here went to Badin. Patty Pate.
We mentioned about going for 2 or whatever. Lakota East is already up 8-0 on Sycamore. Looks like they've done it again.
Okay.
John Kitna had the same situation, Michael, you were talking about last week where they had an offsides on the extra point. They decided to go for 2 against Coleraine in that game. Handoff to Jones. Following the fullback up the middle. Only going to get about 2 yards there. And it's going to set up a third down, a medium.
Story of this game right now, I think, is both teams on first and second down are not being very productive setting up these third and longs. Now, we know Alter with their freshman quarterback, they definitely don't want to be in this situation. And Badin has put themselves in this situation too. So with the exception of the wonderful immigration, 65-yard run?
Just one big play is all really either team has had offensively to this point. Honestly, I think that might be about the only first down we've seen so far tonight.
Yeah, I agree. Looks
Tristan Tincher is the injured Ram on the field there, number 55, being attended to by the medical personnel as he's going to get up the defensive line.
I hope he's okay because he's a senior, and, this is it. He wants to play the rest of the year and get some playoff wins and go for that state title.
You only got 3 regular season games left tonight. Then you got Chaminade Julienne for senior night next week, and then a very, very challenging road game to end the season at McNicholas.
The Rockets, yes.
Looks like senior night, by the way, is going to be a Saturday, I think.
Oh, really?
For Badin and CJ.
Okay.
Wonder if Chris Vogt can maybe get us that game.
That would be nice.
Chris Vogt, if you're listening, send us. Is it to the Swarm? Is that where that game is going to be next week?
3rd and 7 here.
Freshwater takes the shotgun snap. He's got the swing pattern instead. Overthrows his wide receiver. That's Jimmy Nagel.
Yeah, he had him too, and Finn there smacked his hands together. He's frustrated with his ability to hit that ball. He knew it was there, and this would be a 52-yard field goal, which you don't see in high school very often.
When's the last time you seen a punt from the 34-yard line, Dan?
I don't know. Maybe in a Panthers game lately. No, I'm just kidding you, Joel.
Might be, right?
I had to hit you there with that.
Ouch.
That's okay. I don't know. It's been a while.
There is a jump that may have been intentional to give more room for the punt.
Well, you decline it if you're Badin. Seriously.
Yeah.
You can do that.
They're going to march him back 5 yards, just in case Alter would reconsider and maybe go for it on 4th and 6. Maybe.
That would be the ultimate play, intentionally
snap and make him decline the penalty and go for the fake punt.
Yes.
I see Michael nodding his head along. He's like, I've tried that strategy on Xbox before, right?
That's a Oh, look at that. Juggle the snap. He can't.
He's going to get it off.
Unbelievable. And it's
end over end, and let's see where it stops. Purple paint. That is a touchback.
Wow.
And only a modest field position gain there for Alter. That could have been devastating.
Kudos.
Had Alter been able to recover that thing at the 1 or 2 yard line and pin Badin's offense deep.
Oh, my goodness. Great play by the punter there. I'm trying to catch his name. I apologize for that.
I'll tell you what, Dan.
Jaden. No, that's the
Mowbray? No, he's the place kicker. Yep. I'll tell you, Dan. Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
When you're on the 34-yard line,
right,
and it's 4th and 6, and your first instinct is punt the ball.
Yeah.
Dome sides may never admit this publicly, but that is basically a public admission. I trust my defense more than I trust my offense. That's
Joel,
all that means.
You hit the nail on the head. I totally agree with you. And, we're talking about McNicholas. We'll talk about that team more in halftime, but let's do the play here.
Quick little slant pattern or out pattern that is caught. That's number 21, LT King, wrapping up that catch.
Great play there by King. Showed great hands. That was a high and outside pitch, almost like a baseball call, and He grabbed it quite easily. Nice play for Badin, getting the first down. So Badin said, heck with this run, third and long stuff. We're going to mix them up and try a pass on first down. And, boy, it was very successful. I do think a lot of this, beating these tough defenses, is a little trickeration, Joel. And that was definitely a tricky play. Alder wasn't ready for it.
Nobody questions the toughness of Alter's defense. That's for sure. You already know it's going to be a tough matchup. There's
Boom.
the pitch to Grayson. Oh, what a big tackle there. Number 19, Wyatt Reef Schneider, wraps him up in the backfield.
Wyatt Reef Schneider, the second leading tackler in the entire GCL co-ed, 68 tackles this year. You can tell he knows how to tackle.
That was a big hit. We could almost hear it from up here in the press box. 69 and a half steps up, right, Dad? That's a long climb, sir.
We're down to 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. It is, if you just joined us, Badin is leading 6-0, missing the extra point. This is a big play here. They're going to throw it.
Emerson's got man coverage, looking for Brink. Tight coverage there by Cripps. Drew Cripps is not going to allow him to come down with that ball, and yet another 3 and out.
Well, that was second down.
Oh, sorry. My apologies.
That's
it's
okay.
only second down.
That's okay.
I didn't catch the down marker there.
Well, I did like the fact that they did try to go for the first down there and not just get 3 or 4 yards on a run, setting up third and long.
Dan, I'll tell you where I screwed that up. I didn't give King the first down on his 10-yard reception in my brain. I thought it was second and short.
That's okay.
So it is now third down and 12. I stand corrected, folks.
I love
that. I can be wrong.
Yeah, I love
it. Does happen.
And you admit it.
And
that's what's great.
That's right.
All right, play clock down to 8 seconds. They have plenty of time.
Third and 12 for the Rams. Man in motion. Looking for King. Hard to throw across your body going left there, Dan.
Now,
I know you don't love those plays.
I hate the play call unless that was a left-handed quarterback. Why not put the 3 wideouts
on the right-hand side
and roll them to the right? Because he has to stop, torque his hips, throw across his body, and I won't use John Elway again. I always use that as an analogy.
Elway was always very good at that.
I'll say Mahomes maybe, or maybe Matt Stafford. He can throw from any angle.
It's a very difficult. We see that with a lot of teams in high school football. We covered a lot of teams this year, and that left-hand rollout kind of puts the quarterback a little behind the 8 ball, slows his delivery as he kind of swivel his hips before he can release the football.
So this game is starting to settle into what we were thinking before the game started.
Say Cash punts it directionally over the head. And again, he's not gotten a very fortunate bounce game. Every bounce has seemed to, unfortunately for Badin, go backwards, Alter's direction, but this one not quite as severe. And the Knights will start with the ball just outside their own 30-yard line.
33-yard punt and no return, so that's pretty good for high school. If you can get that, flip that field with 30 yards, that's kind of what you want.
Michael, you come in from Pennsylvania. How long of a drive is that?
It took me 5.5 hours.
5.5 to get here. You came straight here from there. Mm-hmm. No wonder you got stuck in traffic. I can see it. You had to go through Columbus to get here tonight. What are you seeing from Alter, good or bad?
I see they're trying to settle in nicely. Offensively, I feel like they need to start passing it more. Get
inside trap.
I kind of agree with you. I think especially a little play-action fake on first down to trick Badin, because Badin just seems to be loading up the front, daring them to throw the ball, and so far they're not. Now, that was a good run. I mean, they got 4 yards there.
They could do that every single play. They'd be set.
That's what Woody Hayes used to say. I talk about my Buckeyes here.
Second and 6.
Big game tomorrow for the Bucks.
Shotgun formation. Handoff up the middle. That's Noah Jones.
Got a
Jones
yard.
is still trying to pull forward. I appreciate the man's effort. This guy was always a very, very tough player.
Yeah, he is.
Dan, we got to call Badin Alter at Centerville 2 years ago. The last time Badin went on the road and played Alter, and the quarterback got hurt that game for Alter as well, and Noah Jones was a freshman and had to fill in at quarterback that game.
Yeah, I mean,
that kid's a gamer.
He's the heart of Alter. I mean, the coach has got to love that kid. He'll play anywhere, and he'll give it his all on every play. So here we go again, another third and long. Seems to be the same script, run, pass. Kind of predictable. We'll see what can happen here.
Third down and short, and Freshwater's going to keep it. And again, the rollout toward the left and throwing across his body, Dan. And it's not working a whole lot easier for him. He got nailed and crushed in the backfield.
He is kind of limping there, Neil, if you want to show him coming off the field.
Joe Dorley was the intended receiver down the field.
Yeah. He looks like he's got hit in the ribs.
Looks like we're down to 0.8 of a second. Just enough time for Alter to snap this football and punt it. And this will be the last play of the first quarter. Dan, see if you can catch the number of the punter back here for Alter.
Yeah, I know. I researched it. Is it like 87? It's
46.
Okay, 46.
And it's going to be a shorter punt, which takes a bit of a Badin bounce. I don't have a 46 on my roster either.
Well,
the mysterious punter punts the football down the field.
We'll try and give him credit. We'll talk to...
If anybody can give us credit for who 46 is, then that'll be helpful. But Badin is going to start with pretty decent field position at the 38-yard line, going now from right to left across the screen. Joel Sackenheim, Danny Vogt, Michael Martz, glad to have you with us. A special birthday shout-out tonight to Lily Clark. Lily Clark is a senior at Cincinnati Christian. She is the scoreboard operator for the junior varsity team.
Okay.
She's got the fastest reflexes of any scoreboard operator I think I've ever seen. There are times the statisticians sitting on either side of her are looking up at the scoreboard waiting for her to change the number to make sure that they match what the scoreboard says, only to see she's already changed it. That quick cat-like reflex.
She is not guilty of letting a little few extra seconds tick off.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. Well, it's not a whole lot of seconds on a volleyball game anyway to tick off.
Good point. Yes. Good point.
Yes, Lily Clark turns 18 years old today, so
there
a very happy birthday to Lily. And good luck for the rest of your senior year, child of God. It is 1st and 10 for the Badin Rams at the 38-yard line. And Badin really has only had one big breakout rushing play, a 65-yard touchdown for Grayson. And other than that, it's been the defenses bottling everybody up all game long.
Now, they do have two wideouts and a man in the slot there, but I still think we're going to see Grayson running the ball on first down. We'll see if I'm right.
This was the spread formation idea, and there it is, Dan.
Yep.
He's going to give it to Grayson. He's going to try to bounce it outside. And Drew Cripps has been all over the place on the Alter defense, number 5 today.
Looks like we got a holding on Badin on the play. At least they yelled it on the other end of the press box.
And it is going to be a hold on the Rams, yes. Dan, I think to wrap up what we were talking about with the whole 2019 season with the Ross loss, the Talawanda loss, and then Badin rattling off 8-2 season after that, they changed their whole playbook, and they basically did everything they were wanting to do, but out of a spread formation instead of the wing T.
Right.
And it was much more to the players' liking because of what you talked about, having all those wide receivers out wide, opened up some better running lanes on the inside.
And some of the kids were familiar with the spread formation because was it Dave Worth?
Well, Worth would have been before Tenor,
okay,
so we got to go back more than 8 years there. So.
Okay, well, obviously I got my coaches mixed up.
You're missing the one in between.
So did Worth run a spread?
Worth definitely ran a spread. He's ran a spread.
Tenor did.
Tenor was a little more wing T-ish, I think.
Wing T, okay.
Slant pattern, deflected, nearly intercepted.
Great
John
play.
Cayley trying to dive at the last second there to see if he can come up with that ball. It falls harmlessly to the turf. 2nd down and 20 now for the Rams.
I'll tell you, that was a huge deflection because I was seeing Rams running free behind the defense. They were there, so getting that big paw up there like John Madden used to say, that's what you needed there.
Reminder coming up at halftime. If you're on the report with us, we do not go to any commercial breaks for the entire broadcast at all. You will get the best halftime show in all of football as we'll talk about all the Butler County and our coverage area teams.
And Joel's not biased. It's the best because it is the best.
Well, we give
especially
you all
if you like
information.
high school computer information.
We have a timeout being called by the Badin Rams. Michael, are you familiar with how the computer points work, sir, for playoffs?
Not totally. I have an idea.
You're going to get quite the education. And basically what happens is when you win games, you get first level points for the size of the school that you beat. You beat a Division I school, you get 6.5 points. If you beat a Division VII school, you get 3.5 points. Everything goes on by a half each level along the way as you go. And then the biggest thing is the second level points. That's what we're talking about with Carroll. Second level points. Whenever you beat somebody, you get points, their first level, into your second level column, and that adds into you. So when Carroll beats Ponitz Tech and Northwest and Northland and Tecumseh, they get 23 points added up between those, and now everybody that beats Carroll gets to end up grabbing those points and adding them in along the way. So it's a huge thing to beat teams that win football games.
There's a deep pass for Badin.
Emerson's looking for Brink.
Oh!
And there, once again, is Cripps. Drew Cripps, give that man an MVP for Alter tonight on the defensive end. My gosh.
Drew Cripps is playing some ball tonight.
Cripps is going for blood, I think, right?
Definitely. And I'll give you a shorter playoff summary too. What you want to do is you want to beat your opponent, and you want to hope that your opponent wins a lot of games. That way you've beaten a strong opponent and your win is worth more points.
Ideally, you would love to schedule a bunch of teams that all go 9-1 and their 1 losses to you. That's how you maximize your points. Fake handoff to Grayson. Emerson's going to keep it. He's going to try to break the left side there. Not a lot of running room on 3rd down and 20. Didn't fool the Knights there. Rod Owens on the stop, as well as Nolan Ogburn coming together for the Knights.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of plays in high school for a 3rd and 20, really, outside of maybe punting on 3rd and 20.
Unless you got JT Kittner or something like that,
to
right?
surprise, right. So now we have our punt. They got 3 on that. 4th and 17. We're already in the second quarter, 10 minutes and 48 seconds to go. Badin leads 6-0. Nice punt. Wow.
That was a beauty.
Over the head, yeah. Drew Cripps. And that's going to roll dead around the 18-yard line. Michael, you've never been to a Badin Alter game, right? I'm going to ask you to pull your microphone a hair closer to you and to speak up real loud. Project that voice, sir, so we can all hear you. Go ahead. Badin Alter first time?
I've enjoyed it so far. Both teams like to run the football. It's battle field position right now, and
exactly.
Whoever wins that turnover battle should come out victorious.
Yeah, and that's what I've noticed with Alter. They're not scoring a lot of points, but they're hoping that their defense causes a turnover or that the offense they're playing against screws up somehow. Then they get the short field and they can capitalize.
Alter's had 3 wins this year. 2 of them have been very low scoring. Dan, we'll have you read those scores off in a second here.
Sure.
But Freshwater's going to try to throw this long.
Look at this.
His receiver's Nagel. Nagel's got a jump ball, and it's broken up by Declan Brown, number 4.
Yeah, I love that play call because you're basically saying I got a 50-50 shot at getting 40 yards. To me, that's a great call. Plus, it's on 1st down, which can trick them because their previous MO is run, pass, or run, pass, punt.
Well, here's the other thing, too. If your running game is not giving you what you need,
right,
you can try that 15 more times tonight. If you catch 1 or 2 of them, it's worth it.
Sure is.
2nd down and 10 for the Knights, again in the wishbone formation.
Another
Freshwater's going to look to throw over the top. It is caught and fumbled. The referee threw the beanbag on the play.
Badin's got it.
Whoa!
I don't agree with that call at all.
Gavin Torol caught the football, came down. I kind of thought he might have been down by contact on that.
Me too. Well, the magic of you can pause it and rewind it later.
There's no replay in high school football.
No replay.
The referee very definitively, the line judge, threw the beanbag. He very, very confidently felt like it was a fumble on the play. And Dan, I know you probably go back, I know I do, and rewatch our broadcast later.
I do.
I'm going to probably watch that play again and see how good of a camera angle Dad got on that to see what are we looking at there, because Badin is going to be the beneficiary of that decision.
And so Badin is playing ultra ball and trying to help their defense cause a field flippage, and they did it well.
Lem Grayson. Now we got a short field for the Rams to the 30-yard line. We'll see if Badin can take advantage of this.
Yeah, tough sledding there. That was Noah Jones on the tackle. He's a linebacker, the junior. He also is their number 1 running back, so Noah does a lot.
Yeah, Jones is all over the place.
2nd and 8 here. Critical drive for Badin, I think, at this point. If they want to get up by 2 scores here.
A 9-point lead would be enormous in a game like this.
Oh, absolutely. And their field goal kicker for Badin, I believe he has Yeah, he's got a 45-yard kick this on the season. So
From here, it would be 47 or 48, so they're
Right.
on the outskirts of that, but not by much.
not by much.
They wouldn't even necessarily need a first down to try this. Grayson, there's a whistle. And we have a timeout being called by Badin. That is going to be their second timeout of the game. One more left for the remainder of the half. Badin had 10 starters on offense that all graduated.
Yes.
Lem Grayson was the only one left. And so it took them a little bit to get going this year. They had Hamilton High. That is not an easy team to have on your schedule for week 1.
And what is Hamilton currently ranked, Mr. Playoff Man? I think they're 4th in their.
Well, let's take a look over here, why don't we?
Yeah, let's look at
Hamilton
it.
is currently 5th coming
5th.
into the weekend with Middletown tonight, worth 25.5 level points.
I mean, they're up there with the big boys, the Lakotas. Hamilton's right there.
Well,
so
they beat Princeton.
they crushed Princeton.
And both Lakota teams lost to Princeton. So, okay. I don't know what to make of
A
that
is
exactly.
to B is B is to C is A is to question mark.
That's kind of like rock beats paper and paper beats rock beats scissors and scissors beats paper, right?
That's right.
That's right. So, meanwhile, every time Badin wins, Hamilton's going cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. They can get 5 more points tonight if Badin can beat Alter.
Well, Badin fed off of Hamilton's
Last year.
points last year. Yeah, Badin beat Hamilton in the first game.
The fact that Hamilton rattled off a bunch of wins was very helpful to the Rams.
Absolutely.
Second down and 8. Handoff to Grayson. Not a lot of running room there. He's going to lose yardage. And back about to the original line of scrimmage to set up a 3rd down and 10.
Boy, Alter plays stout up front. I wonder if Badin has any little pitch plays or, get that running back out wide a little bit because, boy, it's been clogged up the middle. He did pop the 65-yard touchdown here, the only score of the game, and it originally started in the middle, but that was definitely the rare exception.
The hard thing is, Dan, they've tried a few times to run to the outside, both with a handoff to Grayson as well as a keeper to Emerson.
Right.
And Alter's speed laterally has been good enough also to track them down. So
All
it's not
right.
been a lot.
3rd and 9. If they don't get any yards here, it'd be a 48-yard field goal, which is a long way.
Oof. Trips receivers to the left side of the formation. Emerson's going to look other way to throw. He's looking through the slot down the center.
Got it!
The end zone. It is a touchdown pass.
Wow.
That is to L.T. King, and King puts in 6 points for the Rams.
L.T. King, the blues man from New London, gives Alter the blues.
Yes, he does. A 12-0 lead for the Rams, extra point pending on a 32-yard pitch and catch on 3rd down and 10.
It was a 50-50 throw, and at the last minute, King turned his body and brought the ball in, and I thought the Alter player did not know where the ball was.
This extra point goes up into the air a little better than the previous one and is good. 13-0 lead for the Rams here at Bellbrook. And Badin's got Alter exactly where they want him right now.
They really do because there's still 8 minutes and 32 seconds to go here in the second quarter. And Joel and I are big clock management guys.
Oh, yes, we are.
So you figure if Alter even strings a couple first downs together, hitting that running game, Badin can still possibly get that ball again before the end of the half.
And it's so interesting because you have two teams
that
I think would almost rather play defense than offense. You've got two teams who, when they do play offense, would rather run the ball than throw the ball. And yet I think all of the scoring opportunities for the most part, I know Grayson broke the 65-yard run earlier, I think the passing game is going to open up some opportunities.
Yeah, I do too.
Both teams.
And I think the freshman quarterback for Alter, Finn Freshwater, I think early on his adrenaline was just crazy high, and he was throwing everything high. And I think he's going to have to realize that they need his arm, and he's got to settle down and get accurate on some of these throws. And I think Alter will use him to do that because it is tough sledding against Badin's defense to try and grind the ball up the middle.
Alter has had opportunities in that 10 to 15-yard passing domain, but the passes have been Cam Newton-like and over the head of the players there. Couple tackles broken as the ball is brought across the 25-yard line.
Now, you're not talking MVP Cam Newton.
No. Well, even MVP Cam Newton. was good for about 5 balls a game that were 8 feet over receivers' heads.
I gotcha.
This is why he loved Greg Olson so much, because Greg Olson was 9 feet tall.
Right. and his weird hair was an extra foot.
Oh, he was a werewolf of London, Danny. His hair was perfect. I don't think Michael gets that reference there.
That's Warren Zevon.
That's before his time, shall we say.
Everything's before. He's before your time, Joel.
Oh, first down and 10 for the Knights.
Neil comments that was a millennium ago. I like that, Neil.
That was last millennium. That's true. That's true. First down and 10 for the Knights. Wishbone formation. Handoff up the middle.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing there. That looks like it's number 4, the ball carrier, Rod Owens, on the play. Dan, you catch the tackler at all there? There were several Rams.
It was a herd of Rams. Roscoe Martin. And also 38 Emmett Sackenheim. Any relation to you guys?
Emmett Sackenheim. Is he out there?
There you go. Did he like Emmett Smith?
Is that 38 or is that 36 there, Dan? I'm looking
38.
I see 36 running around out there. I'm looking for 38.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Might be 36 there.
Maybe.
36 would be Alex Albrink,
the
junior linebacker.
Well, Emmett was excited.
We called his name off. Yeah. Pitch play.
Nice play.
Flag.
Oh.
Maybe not that nice of a play.
Maybe that's why it was so successful.
Maybe that's why it was a nice play.
Holding.
Unfortunately for the Knights, they're not going to get the benefit of what would have been about their best offensive play of the game, I think, to this point, as that's going to get negated and washed away with a holding penalty.
And really, the Knights, they can't afford anything like that to put them into obvious passing downs. Now, let's hope Finn can, get his adrenaline down and throw some accurate. You really want to, at this point, just try and get half the yardage back and try and get yourself into a 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. Because right now it's 2nd and 13.
Well, the hold happened 7 yards down the field. So the one good thing for Alter there is they only lose about 3 yards of field position, even though it stings to not get the benefit of the good play. A fake one way, a pass the other way, and the ball is batted down by big old number 54, and that's Cole Brandeburg.
Good play by Cole there. It looked like they were exactly trying to get a little swing pass out of the backfield and, and pick up half that yard. So now they're in the big 3rd and 13.
Dad, thank you for correcting me. 44 is the defensive end, not 54. And 44 is Roscoe Martin, whose name you just called out on the previous play for stopping the run. So Roscoe Martin, 2 good plays here on this possession for you. You've got a stop of a run. We had the holding penalty, and now a pass breakup on what otherwise might have been potentially a good play there for Alter. It's 3rd down and 13.
Roscoe has a chance for a defensive hat trick. We'll see. There's a sack.
Sack. Bam. Number 28, Royce Rachel. He's a returning starter, a senior. One of the few for Badin. The few, the proud, the seniors.
Royce Rachel, number 2 in tackles for the Rams, and he leads the team in sacks. Prior to that sack, he had 5. So now he has 6, which is pretty awesome. 4th and 23. I don't think we'll see a fake.
Not a lot of plays there, and Badin's going to get some field position because their deep man is on the other side of midfield still. This own side of midfield.
Oh, and it's a short punt.
Ball's going to hang up, and it's going to be returned.
Wow.
Brave return there to Clan Brown.
I think he actually tricked the Alter Knights there because they kind of stood around thinking it would be fair caught.
Oh, that was going to be fair caught, right?
Yeah, and he just went, heck with you guys. I'm going to zoom right through here.
That play could have gone a few different ways, good or bad for both teams.
All right, so Badin flips the field again. They're going to start out with great field position at the 38-yard line. Badin here, if they could possibly run the ball and grind some time, that's what they would like. But at this point, they're going to just want to score it no matter how they do it.
6.5 remaining in the second quarter of play, and the handoff goes to Grayson up the middle.
Nothing.
No room. No room at the end. Looking to see 16 there for Alter getting up from the pile, Morgan Montgomery.
So 2nd and 10. Absolutely nothing on the first play.
But the clock is running.
And Badin has taken their dear sweet time. Honestly, they should snap that ball with under 5 seconds to go on that clock. Right now, the clock is ticking down. It's down to 18 seconds to go here.
In a way, the strategy for Badin is to kind of alter. Yeah.
Very good. Play Joel ball.
Play Joel ball. Run the football. Oh, we got a motion penalty there. I think somebody flinched on the offensive line. Right tackle there was number 78, Andrew Lipp. Sorry, Andrew. I'm sure you've been having a very good game otherwise, but you get called your name for that, right? That's the way it goes for being an offensive lineman. We had a fascinating interview, Michael. We had a receiver from Wilmington when we had the Wilmington and Ross game who caught a game-winning touchdown the year before. He's a freshman in college now. He was in town. We interviewed him, and he had a Ross kid that was on the opponent in that game. It was his college teammate. He's saying they were there together. They're playing together on the same team. So we have a timeout being taken by Badin. That's the final timeout of the first half for Coach Shorty. And so he's being interviewed, and we asked him, what's the name of your offensive lineman buddy from Ross that plays with you? And he didn't know his name. And I guess it's true even when you're teammates. As long as your guy's not committing a holding penalty, you probably don't want to know your linemen's names. It's typically a bad sign when everyone's calling out your name. So, Michael, high school football. You're from Edgewood. I'm sure you've seen a lot of games at Kumler.
Yes.
Talk about the stadium experience, because I know Badin's played there a few times as well. They had their homecoming there last week.
Kumler Field has actually grown within the last year with renovations. A lot of running the football there. The last my time there. If stats prove me right, I think it was 65% run.
Wow.
You had Scott Clemens was your coach for a long time there at Edgewood. And this is the first year that Edgewood has been without him.
Yes.
He is
former player Trace Reynolds.
Yeah, Trace Reynolds there. Former, yeah. Did he go to Ross or did he go to Edgewood?
He went to Edgewood.
He went to Edgewood, okay. Second down and 15. And Emerson's going to have to scramble here.
Nice.
That pocket broke down. That's a sack there for Alter. It looks like number 97 there wrapping him up. That is Dash Kolker. Freshman. 6'3", 208 pounds.
He actually gained a foot, so you got to negate the
so
sack.
no sack there.
Sorry about that. I didn't want to pull it away from the freshman.
If you had the Alter defense and special teams unit on your GCL fantasy team tonight, you do not get the sack for the play. Yes.
There is GCL fantasy. Wow.
Is there GCL fantasy?
That's tremendous. All right, big 3rd and 15 for
Would have been
Badin.
good to have Malik Zaire when he was the Alter quarterback on GCL fantasy. He was fantastic back in the day. 3rd down and 15 for Badin. Receiver goes in motion. Emerson's going to chuck this up.
He's got it wide open. Oh, my goodness.
That was busted coverage on the play as both defensive backs went to the middle to cover the seam pattern and left the corner route completely undefended and just outside of the outstretched arms of L.T. King, who could have had an easy touchdown walk-in on that, had that time just a little bit nicer.
Yeah, that's one where the quarterback, he might want to just kind of take his time, and if he throws it a little bit short, he's going to complete it. There was no one within 10 yards of that receiver.
Holy secondary, Batman. That coverage just completely broke down.
A little Robin reference.
Oh, my goodness. Left-footed punt for Saycash. Over the head of the return man, possibly.
Oh, great effort by the Badin Rams.
Oh, my goodness.
And he's got his fist up in the air, and there's no doubt about it. That was
if I can catch
number
him on my
three.
screen.
Number 3.
That'd be Kai Samples that made that knockdown.
Beautiful play, keeping that ball from going in the end zone.
That's wonderful punt coverage, and I'm sure the Badin coaching staff has to absolutely love that.
Well, it totally changes. Yeah, it totally changes this drive now. Alder has to somehow go 97 yards here.
Or at least hold on to the football without getting caught for a safety.
Right.
Let's start there. Work our way down the field beyond that if Alter can. But this is a very compromised field position spot.
I'll give you
tonight.
10-1 odds here on this next play that it's going to be a run.
Oh, yeah.
You can, because
look for a fullback dive up the middle just to try to carve anything out, right?
And we'll see if Badin stacks the line to stop it.
1st and 10 for the Knights. Wishbone formation.
Yeah, they're all crowded.
Oh,
and
it's tight.
There's 10 there, and there's your run.
There's your fullback dive up the middle. I don't think Badin was fooled.
No. All right, so they got a yard. Let's watch Badin here. Now, they're out of timeouts. Is that right, Joel?
Badin is out of timeouts.
So they really
can't stop the clock on D.
Yeah, that's a huge thing to realize here.
Yeah, Alter has all 3 timeouts. But I don't know how aggressively they want to play this thing with this
I think
field
Alder's
at their own 5-yard line. There ain't much you're going to do at 4 minutes unless you can break loose.
Yeah, they're going to snap that ball with 1 second on the clock if they're smart. 13-0 here, 3:46 to go in the half.
Here's the handoff. This is Noah Jones. Jones wrapped up. He gains some yardage, gets them out of the shadow of their own goalpost, which is awesome for the Knights.
All right, that's going to set up a huge third down. What do you think, 3? Neil's going 4. Thanks, Neil.
About 3rd and 4.
Third
We
and
found
4.
a way to shut Dad up here, right?
No, it's okay, man. I like Neil. He's got some good input.
Still helping outside only.
What do you think, Neil?
Dad's trying to answer a question, but he's got the headset, and Dad doesn't. Yeah.
Neil, what do you think of this game so far?
Slow.
It is very slow.
Slow game.
All about running, all about defense, and it's a fake for Freshwater. He's got a man.
Wide open.
He missed him.
Boy,
Intended for Nagel.
Badin's fortunate for many reasons there. Number 1, they would have the first down quite easily up at the 20. Number 2, it stops the clock. 2:57. Number 3, the punter is going to be punting out of his own end zone. Badin.
This is a little rough.
Yeah, let's see if I put the punt returners at probably the 35, 40. And let's see where they're back. Where's he back here, Neil? At the 40?
Looks like, the 40-yard line. This is not
38.
a lot of respect being shown there for Brown.
There
Wobbly punt, and Brown's got it exactly where it needs to be, and he's going to let this thing bounce. Alter's had the rolls on most of these punts tonight.
Yep.
But Badin's still going to have the ball 44 yards away with 2:46 remaining in the second quarter. Still an opportunity to get a few more points on the board for Badin.
Yeah, 38-yard net on that punt, so Alder can't ask for any more than that. Plus, letting it roll there, you lose 7 more seconds. Something to think about if you're Badin because you have no timeouts left. 13-0 here, Joel. You're the Ram coach. What do you think here?
I'm going aggressive.
Going aggressive.
I'm not going reckless. I'm not putting my quarterback in a sack fumble situation where Alter can flip the field, but I'm going to take some stabs down the field and see if we can get to field goal range or better.
I like to see a first down pass. There you go.
There it is.
Nice safe
out
play.
Pattern, and Alter's defense has been pretty good today.
Yeah, knocked it out there. Great D.
That's John Cayley, the defensive back there for the Knights. 2nd down and 10 coming up.
Got any other scores?
I'm looking for some because we're going to have a halftime show coming up very soon.
I'd like to know that Hamilton-Fairfield game.
Hamilton-Fairfield, as of the last I have seen, it appears that Hamilton-Middletown is playing tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
sorry. 2nd and 10. Handoff up the middle to Grayson.
He was stuffed.
Yes.
Dash. Kakler. Nothing there, and the clock will drift. We're down below 2.5 minutes remaining now. Alter not taking timeouts to get the ball back.
We found out
what the field position will be like.
Oh, thanks to Neil, we found out Alter's punter is Will Green. He just changed his number from 73 to 46.
So
there you go.
Gotcha.
And he wrote it on Jules. Thank you.
That always helps.
Big 3rd and
10. 3rd down. Emerson's going to roll out right now. A little better, friendlier throwing motion there. Tipped, incomplete, and there's Drew Cripps, the defensive MVP for Alter, again on the coverage on the play, and Badin is going to punt.
Great.
Gladly play field position.
Yeah, great defense by Alter there, keeping themselves in the game. I'm telling you, if they're down by 3 scores at half, it totally deflates you. So Alder needs to get out of this first half no worse than 13-0. A score, obviously, is what they want, but big play by their D.
There's the punt for Saycash. Directional again. It's going to bounce and take that friendly roll inside the 10. And
what a great punt.
Yes.
Alter started their last drive at the 3. They're going to start this one at the 1.5. Wow.
I love the punt because he kicked it and it rolled like a sausage down the field.
A big sausage.
I mean, I am hungry, and I guess that was the reference. But it almost looked like a bowling ball. I mean, it just kind of rolled and rolled. Perfect.
The only thing I'm going to say, though, that's a downside, Danny, you mentioned the timeout situation.
Yeah.
Badin has none.
Right.
And if you're Alter here, this is 3 straight quarterback dives basically up the middle, or 1 dive to get you off the 1 yard line and maybe a couple kneel down plays, because Alter is going to have no interest in doing anything with this.
Well, Alter's coach, I wouldn't even mind. I think it's obvious, but you got to tell these kids no penalties, no mistakes, no holdings, no turnovers. You can get holding in the end zone on a running play, and they'll take it, He barely got out.
Yeah, I mean, Badin's going to send the house at this point in time. I guess if you wanted to try to chuck it 99 yards down the field, you're going to catch the defense completely off guard. You could try it, but
well, he did that one-on-one play earlier, and Badin was up to the task. But
the problem with that strategy, of course, with this much time left, still above 1:20, is that an incomplete pass is going to get Badin the ball back, and if you run it 3 times, you can make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, we're down to 1. I'm trying to do the math. We're down to 1:18. Okay, so
Alter's a second down right now. They do not have to throw this ball nor punt it if they just run it 3 times.
I'd catch the ball and fall forward if I'm the quarterback 2 times in a row. Nope, they're still handing
Here's
it
the
off.
handoff up the middle. Again, I think it's just to try to avoid the safety more than anything else.
I don't even like handing it off there because you can botch a handoff.
It can be done.
I'd rather see the quarterback take a knee here. All right, we're down to 45 seconds to go. The play clock is at 28, so that means they'll get a playoff here, and then there'll be 15 seconds to watch the play clock go out, and we'll be at halftime. So I don't see them daring to throw the ball here. So it's going to be a 13-0 half coming up.
This is just run the football and get in at halftime, Dan. I agree with you. 3rd down and 7, but the distance really doesn't matter all that much. It's the fullback dive right up the middle, and that is going to be our halftime score as we going to go ahead and take this thing into the break with a 13-0 Badin Rams lead. Michael, let me ask you first. What are you seeing from the first half?
Physical, physical, physical. 3 key words right there.
Yeah. Well, it only takes you half a football to realize just how physical Badin and Alter are. They're big-time rivals, and you're right, Michael. You nailed it, I think.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, if you're a fan of line play, and not a lot of people are, but sometimes I do like to watch the linemen.
Well, if you like to watch the linemen, this is a good night to watch because
Yes.
you're going to see lots of really, really good stuff coming off there. My goodness. All right. We ready for halftime, folks? It is time for the best halftime show in the land, and we're going to whip you around some scores of some other games as we've seen them and as we know them, and we'll try to make this audible as well in case our friends
And if we don't know them, we'll just make them up.
That's right.
I was doing a George Carlin.
That's right. Our friends over at Badin Huddle and the Badin Sports YouTube page are also simulcasting our audio with their video tonight. So we welcome your audience as well into the Report Ohio's coverage, our audio of Badin and Alter. And here are the other games in the Report Ohio's coverage area. At Virtual Schwarm Stadium, they're playing the Butler Bowl right now, and it is the second quarter of that game. And the Hamilton Big Blue have a 21-0 lead over the Middletown Middies.
I expected that.
Middletown started 4-0 this year. They're
they
now
did.
4-3 because their schedule, like Carroll's, has gotten a heck of a lot tougher.
Now, what do you win with the Butler Bowl? Is it actually a trophy, or what is
I
it?
don't think they actually have a traveling trophy for that game. It'd be really, really nice if
would
they
be.
did, wouldn't it?
It would be, yeah.
But as it is, Hamilton, Middletown, this is Hamilton's last big chance to get their playoff points.
Okay.
Because their last 2 games are against Coleraine and Sycamore. And so there are not going to be any points offered there whatsoever
I
for
think
those 2 games.
This Coleraine and Sycamore are both winless.
Coleraine is winless. Sycamore only has 1 win over Coleraine. So 6.5 will go to Hamilton for that game. Nothing will go to Hamilton. They would actually be better canceling the Coleraine game due to some sort of, stoppage or whatever. If they can get their friends at North College Hill to come up and pay them a visit or something like that and end the game early, Hamilton would actually do better in the points than actually playing that game. But 21-0 now for Big Blue at Virtual Schwarm over Middletown. Here's an interesting score at Jake Sweeney Field. You've got the Fairfield Indians and the Princeton Vikings, and it's 21-21 in the second quarter of that game. Fairfield coming out to play.
Fairfield must have grabbed that Hamilton game film when Hamilton shellacked the Princeton Vikings because Fairfield is playing hard right now.
I'm still trying to figure out what to make out of the Princeton Vikings because
Yeah.
Princeton looks so good. They beat Lakota West. They played Lakota East actually to a closer game than the Lakota West game, and then they got absolutely drumrolled by Hamilton Big Blue.
And as
My
far as I know,
goodness.
Hamilton did not. I'm sorry, Princeton did not suffer any injuries. Which
Not that we know of.
Not that we know.
But it's been a rougher second half of the year for the Vikings as Fairfield going down on the road to Sharonville tonight and giving the Princeton Vikings all they could ever want and ask for. This score is not surprising. The Lakota West Firebirds going down to Bridgetown to play the Oak Hills Highlanders, and Lakota West with a 28-0 lead still in the first quarter of that game. Tom Bolden's Firebirds are not dilly-dallying or pitter-pattering around tonight. They have done that in the past few weeks of having slower first quarters and really opening the game up in the second.
I think Lakota's number 2 in Division I in the region.
I think they're actually 4, believe it or not,
four.
at this point
Moeller's
in time.
1.
Moeller's 1. Winton Woods is 2.
Okay, Winton Woods. I always forget about that.
And West is up there, I think, at 4 with Hamilton behind him in the 5 line. We'll look at those standings momentarily. But that's what's going on over there. Lakota West, I believe, when they played Sycamore last week, Coach Bolden said that they had a 45-0 lead and only had 5 minutes of time of possession in the first half of that game. That's a very bizarre stat. That's very, very explosive.
They scored quickly.
Scored very, very quickly, Lem Grayson style, right? This score actually needs to be updated because Lakota East has just scored again. So 35-6 now in terms of the Lakota East Thunderhawks pouring it on Sycamore. Lakota East almost dropped a game to Coleraine last week. Very, very surprising. Everybody's eyebrows were raised by that score, but apparently that was enough to get the attention of Coach Kitna and the Thunderhawks, who are playing a much more fundamentally sound game against the Aviators.
I wonder what John Kitna thinks of the running clock. They're one
we'll have
point
to
away.
ask him at some point in time, right?
I bet he's not a fan.
Yeah, they got a 29-point lead. They're 1 point away from a running clock. That game's in the second quarter. First quarter score at Dwyer Field, the Mason Comets with a very solid 10-0 lead on the Coleraine Cardinals. Coleraine is now 0-17 the last 2 years.
Boy,
who would have ever thought we would have said that a while
Coleraine
ago?
was a juggernaut back in the day. They
Michael,
really
were they still a juggernaut when you were in high school? Or were they on their way down at that point?
I believe they were on their way down. I think that's right when Bolden left.
Yes.
Bolden went took care of Lakota West then. You can see what's happened with Lakota West since then. And you can see on the other side what has happened with Coleraine since then. Mason with a rough start to the season, but very sticky with that win over Middletown right at the end at Barnett's last week. And here they are going to get a win potentially over Coleraine tonight. They're going to sneakily be up to 4-4 in the GMC. All right, here's a score that Badin fans will actually care quite a bit about.
Wow.
The Edgewood Cougars, 1-6, on the road in Germantown with a 13-7 lead over Valley View right now. This is an interesting score.
Very.
Edgewood started a different quarterback last week, Breedlove, the sophomore. They are throwing the football more than they did back when you went there, Michael, under Coach Clemens. Here's where this matters, Badin fans, to you guys, because Edgewood beating Valley View would give Badin 5 second-level points that they probably wouldn't be expecting to get tonight. As we were starting to explain a little bit earlier in the broadcast, it's one of those things that every time a team you beat wins a game, you get more points added into your column. So, Badin, you're not actually hoping that Edgewood goes 1-9 this year.
all about strength of
You want to see
schedule.
Edgewood keep winning football games because that's how you end up getting a home game in the first round of the playoffs, Badin. If you can keep getting second-level points added in there, this will be 5 of them that would be unexpected if Badin is able to snag this from Edgewood. A nice little Christmas present or Halloween present they could get from the Cougars tonight. We'll see if Valley View makes a spirited effort in the second half to come back in that game. Bellbrook and Monroe. Bellbrook is not here tonight. They're on the road down at Monroe. They're leading 14-7 over the Hornets. Monroe trying to put up a fight there. Bellbrook is the class of the Southwestern Buckeye League, Southwestern Division. They have beaten Edgewood in a close game earlier this year, and now Monroe's hanging in there. But Bellbrook, so far with the lead, they're 6-1, very strong position in Division
What's their team mascot?
The Golden Eagles.
Golden Eagles.
They are not the Bees.
All right.
That's right. Ross and Franklin.
There you go.
Most of our panel of the Report Ohio picked Ross today.
I was talking with Chris about this because we have our little pro picks.
Yes.
And you and I and Chris are the top 3.
We're the top 3.
And I said to Chris, after I turned in my pick, he said we all have the exact same
All 3
pick.
of us picked the exact
and
same
I said
thing.
to Chris, I was going to pick Franklin, and I wimped out. And look at Franklin. They're making me look like I should have picked Franklin.
This Ross Franklin, remember Ross was down 14-0 last week to Edgewood and came back and won
true.
2. So we were thinking the same thing when we had that game at Robinson Field. So it's one of those things we're looking at. I agreed with you. I mean, these picks this week seemed like the easiest slate of games
They did.
that we've had to pick all year long. But this was the one game, Ross and Franklin, that I kind of looked at and thought, interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. So, Talawanda Harrison. The Talawanda Brave is on a 3-game winning streak. Their first win of the season when they were 0-4 was against.
Did I catch you saying Braves?
The Braves. There's
Yeah,
more than one, right?
No,
there's
it's
only
the
one.
Brave.
That's right. There's only one. There's only one Brave. That's right.
That's okay. They'll get it right.
It's a Brave with an apostrophe S. It's a possessive Brave. He's a very possessive Brave, right? The Braves' first win this year. B-R-A-V apostrophe S.
Thank you. Now I know what you said.
His first win this year was against Carroll, the Patriots. So Talawanda also
we're not
was the beneficiary of the Carroll.
We're not
Buffalo.
picking on you, Talawanda, at all.
You're just missing a letter S out of your name.
We're old. We like the Braves.
We like plural mascots, right?
Yeah, I mean
That's
the
right.
Atlanta Brave just doesn't roll off the tongue.
Not quite as much. It helps.
No.
It helps to have more than one player out there on the field.
Well, they could only.
It does.
Yeah. Okay.
It
Go
does.
ahead.
So yeah, exactly. Well, Talawanda really ought to play Wilmington because they'd have one hurricane as well. Be a singular versus singular matchup there in that game. Yes.
Or Thurgood Marshall.
Thurgood,
They could
yeah,
play
one
the
guy.
man.
They could play just one guy. Thurgood Marshall and the Brave. Just one. That's right. But Harrison up 28-7 over Talawanda. Talawanda, this will be a big win for them. They can come back, but it's not looking likely. Harrison is in Badin's region above them, also looking in that home game region of Division II, Region 8. Here's a score from the GCL. McNicholas leading Fenwick by a score of 14-7. Now, Alter would love to see Fenwick win this game
Yes.
because Alter has already beaten Fenwick. Badin would love to see Fenwick win this game because
'Cause-
Badin has already beaten Fenwick this year. Actually, hang on. Alter, I think, plays Fenwick next week. I think they played Carroll and they play Badin tonight. I'm forgetting who Alter played now, week 1 of conference schedule. Isn't that awful?
Well, I'll tell you one thing about McNicholas. They can score points, and they have a juggernaut offense.
Okay,
and
so
I'm really
Alter-
looking
go ahead.
forward to the last game of the season, Badin and McNick. I think it'll be for the whole GCL marbles.
Let me revise and tell you why Alter does want Fenwick to win this
Okay.
game.
All
Because
right.
Alter lost to McNicholas last week. So if
Okay.
McNick wins, those are dead-end points that Alter will not get. But if Fenwick wins, Badin will get 5.5 points for that because they've already beaten Fenwick. And Alter would have 5.5 more points tacked on to the Fenwick game when they play them. Alter is at home against Fenwick next week. Alter's at home the next 3 weeks.
I know, it's really sad that you say that Badin, if Fenwick wins, Badin gets helped in points. Well, primarily it'll help them in old school ways of winning the GCL, but that
also that
doesn't
way
even
too.
matter.
I've never cared about a conference title. I care about playoff seed.
That's right.
I'm an
No one
autistic
cares
random
about the
points.
conference titles
Exactly,
anymore.
exactly. And if McNicholas does win this game, well, that's bad news for Alter. All that means is that 5 points then would be tacked on to the McNicholas game. Badin wouldn't get them yet, but still could get them in week 10 when they play the Rockets on the road over there in Paradise.
Why is it
quarter-
called Paradise?
It's been called Paradise forever. It's the facility behind McNicholas on the east side of Cincinnati. It's like almost like a gravel or dirt road to get back there and through the woods and through the trees, and then it opens up into the sports complex where they've now built a football stadium and they have lights and they even play Friday night games there now. How about that?
That's tremendous.
Waynesville over Madison right now, 24-0, having no problem with the Madison Mohawks. This is a Division 5 matchup there in our
not a
coverage area.
Mohawk.
Yes, multiple Mohawks. There's
Okay,
more
I
than
thought
one.
it was named after the haircut.
No, not the haircut. No,
Okay,
no,
okay.
the tribe. The tribe.
Okay,
yes,
good.
indeed.
Well, all
Thursday night final. We had this game already at Mara Field. Cincinnati Country Day comes into the Village and knocks out the new Miami Vikings. Dawson Hayes making his first start as a quarterback after leading rusher in Butler County so far all year, having to step in for his buddies in a pinch when the quarterback was gone. Cincinnati Country Day, they looked so good.
Now you called the game with Chris and your mother.
Yes, Mom was there.
Yes, and I'll tell you, the quarterbacking for Cincy Country Day, I've never seen such pretty spots.
Oh, he was so beautiful.
And
beautiful.
what to think of New Miami? They started out, were they 3 or 4-0?
They were 3-0.
Okay.
Now they're 4-4. What to think of them? I think A, the schedule has gotten tougher.
Okay.
And B, I hope I don't get too much trouble for the Village Saints. I think the boys are kind of turning on each other a little bit, and the boat in the middle of the lake is not all rowing in the same direction.
Little internal struggles.
Little internal struggling going on there. They've had some drama in their locker room, and that does not help you. And they've got St. Bernard Elmwood Place coming up. That's not going to be any easier for New Miami.
Yeah, anytime you start 3-0 and you're at 4-4, it's going to get a few people angry.
A little angst going on there. Yep. All right, speaking of starting 4-0 and now being 4-3, the Carroll Patriots, our friends up in Beaver Creek, are losing again. Oh, no, we suck again. Yes. Chaminade Julienne with a 27-0 lead over Carroll as CJ's turn this week to get the 23-point Carroll bump up the standings. McNicholas is going to have their shot at them next week. And then Fenwick will have their chance at them in Week 10. Poor Carroll. I mean, they started off 4-0, beating up on the Little Sisters of the Poor, and the rest of the GCL is benefiting so much from all of those points. So Chaminade Julian, they send a thank you note to Carroll for coming to Glass Stadium and providing them with 23-second level points tonight.
Can Pontus Tech play the GCL every year, the whole GCL?
Well, you don't want to play the whole GCL, though, because that limits everybody a little bit, right?
Yeah, that's true.
You got to kind of play a wide variety of games.
I haven't thought it out very well.
That's right. So, here's a score that Badin fans would care about from up in the Columbus area tonight.
Yes.
Buckeye Valley and the Silver Knights of Bishop Reedy. This was the team that Badin beat in Week 4 of their non-conference schedule, and Reedy has a 7-7 matchup right now with the Barons of Buckeye Valley, still late in the first quarter in that game. The last time I saw a score posted to Twitter. And Buckeye Valley, I believe, is a Division III school, I want to say. I'm going to pull this up real quick.
Are they Spartans?
The Barons. The Buckeye Valley Barons, and yes, they are Division III.
Okay.
So if Bishop Reedy wins this game, then Badin will get 5.5 more second-level points. And looking at the records there, Buckeye Valley's a pretty quality team there. This is a tough matchup there for Reedy, who plays a pretty tough schedule. Hughes and Woodward, not seen a score yet there from Stargell Stadium. I think they started that game around 5 o'clock earlier tonight, but have not seen anybody post a score. If Hughes wins, 5.5 more points for the Badin Rams in that game. Alter fans that are watching along, we got Withrow and Aiken. I've not seen a score there from that game either. That might not even be tonight. That might be a different day. So, looks like, hang on. Michael, go ahead and talk to us. What you got? What are you seeing?
I got halftime, Edgewood 13 over Valley View to 10 at halftime.
13-10 now. Valley View's kicked a field goal in Germantown now. And so 13-10, again, that's a very good and unexpected score for the Badin Rams if Edgewood can hold on. Withrow is who Alter played in Week 1. And Dan, let me tell you, with your Ponitz theory here, this is really what Withrow's doing. Withrow is 2-5, okay? Withrow scheduled St. X, Elder, LaSalle, Clayton Northmont, and Alter for their non-conference schedule. Whew, that is Murderer's Row.
That's the 5 losses then.
That's the 5 losses. It was all in the non-conference. They might roll through their CMAC schedule now because they play all these inner-city Cincinnati teams the back half of the season. But here's going to be the problem, though, for Alter or whatever else. It's not that you beat Withrow. Wonderful. That's a good team. It's the fact that Withrow then played St. X and Elder and LaSalle and lost all those games. So those are all games you don't get points for.
Right.
If Withrow would to schedule Ponitz Tech or to schedule Tecumseh, then Alter would be rolling in the points, and Withrow's record would be sitting at 5-2 right now instead of 2-5. So, yeah, you want to schedule teams that you can beat, but you also got to make sure the teams that you schedule end up winning games, and that is the problem because Withrow bit off so much in their non-conference schedule this year that Alter is not getting a tremendous benefit from that.
But kudos to Withrow because when they do, they've played the best, so they'll be playoff ready with a 5-5 record. Okay,
they will be definitely battled if they make it.
If they make it,
they got to make it.
They might be one of those 14 seeds that pulls an upset.
They're in Badin's region. We'll look at them in a second here. Here's a good score for Alter. Alter fans, if you're watching. Trotwood Madison, who you also beat in the non-conference. Trotwood Madison also was 0-5 non-conference and now is beating up on the Dayton public school teams. Trotwood Madison is the Dayton version of Withrow. They are, let's schedule everybody we can possibly schedule early,
powerhouse,
get thumped in the first 5 games, and then end up beating up at Welcome Stadium all these games against the inner-city Dayton schools. Trotwood Madison up 32-0 in the second quarter. That is going to give Alter 5.5 second-level points tonight. So very, very good news, at least with that score, for the Alter Knights. All right, let's look at the eye chart now, Badin fans. This is your Division II, Region 8, from Joe Idle, but color-coded onto my Excel spreadsheet. And if you're looking at this, fans, I know we got some people on the Badin Huddle stream that are watching right now. We got some people on the Badin YouTube stream that are watching now that not normally watch us. Go ahead, Dan.
So if you look at the numbers across the top, 1 through 9,
Those are
that's
weeks
the week
1
of
through
the
9. That's
schedule.
right.
So then you can. So we're in week
8 right now.
8.
So
okay.
Badin is playing Alter tonight. You see Badin is on the number 8 line.
Right.
And you see that where 8 drops down, there's the orange block there for Alter. And Alter is worth 17.5 second-level points if Badin were to beat them. And then Alter could also give them a few more if they continue to win afterwards. You see a couple lines over, we have the white square for Fenwick with a 5.5. If Fenwick is able to upset McNicholas tonight, that'd be 5.5 points that Badin could add to their second-level points columns. Edgewood, Bishop, Reedy, Hughes, those are games that you want to see teams you've already beaten win. Hamilton to Sales right there are both pitch black. Badin lost those 2 games, so they cannot gain any points whatsoever. It does not matter how good Hamilton goes this year, how well Columbus, St. Francis, and Sales goes this year. You are dead to me, basically. They are dead points. They mean nothing there. Badin has 71 second-level points so far this season. You can see the teams above them. Most of them have more, except for Lima Senior has less, but Lima Senior plays a dog bleep schedule up there in the Toledo and Lima area.
Pretty
They've
bad.
got Toledo Waite with no wins tonight. They beat Woodward and Rogers and Boucher up there in Toledo, who all of them are almost winless this year, other than the games they play each other in conference. So Lima Senior sitting there on the 6th line, even though they're undefeated, with 3 teams above them that all have a loss that have played much better opponents and gotten more points.
And to
from them.
simplify it, the top 16 teams would make the playoffs.
That's right.
The top 8 teams would get a home playoff game.
That's right.
And the top 4 teams would get 2 home playoff games.
2 home playoff games contingent upon winning the first one, of course.
Of course, yes. If you don't get upset.
If you don't get upset.
So Badin right now,
they are on the
if
8
it
line.
ended, they'd get a home playoff game against the 1 seed.
Against the 9 seed.
The 9 seed,
Vandalia Butler, who is
Okay,
playing Sydney tonight.
Yeah, they played Vandalia Butler a couple years ago, I believe. It
If you
was a playoff game.
If you look around Badin, Mount Healthy is 1 spot above them. They play Belmont, that's worth 21 points tonight. Vandalia Butler plays Sydney. They're worth 23.5 points tonight. Both Mount Healthy and Vandalia Butler will be favored. So Badin, you could win tonight and still end up a little bit on the short end of that stick.
But Belmont was winning the score.
I've not seen the Mount Healthy Belmont game. Have you seen that one?
I'm sorry. I thought you had the B
Trotwood
on there.
Madison was Bellbrook.
Oh, it was
Bellbrook, which
I'm
is different than
sorry.
Belmont. Yes.
Okay.
Very different clientele at Bellbrook and Belmont. Exactly. My goodness.
All right.
Yes.
Sorry about that,
You're good.
Bellbrook.
You're good. But no, Badin fans,
Too many bells.
what would also help you if all 3 of those schools, Mount Healthy, Badin, Vandalia, Butler, win, you're all going to close the gap with Lima Senior up there on 6 because Lima Senior plays Toledo Waite. Winless team. Lima Senior ain't getting any points from that game tonight. Badin's already got more second-level points than Lima Senior. But all 3 of those could kind of come up and catch the Spartans a little bit. And all of these games that Badin has won earlier this year, Edgewood, Reedy, Hughes, it'd be very helpful if all of them could pull out wins, because that would be the little bit of a bump you might get to keep Vandalia Butler from hopping you, to bump maybe over Mount Healthy tonight, as it's kind of a dog-eat-dog world in this region.
If Anderson at 1 happens to beat Winton Woods,
they're going to have the 1 seed locked up.
They're going to clinch it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they will clinch.
They're not going to get
Woods.
much from Walnut Hills tonight, but Winton Woods is worth 44 second-level points to the Anderson Raptors, and they'll be worth even more if Winton Woods wins tonight. They're playing the West Claremont Wolves, so we'll see what ends up happening in that game. You see Harrison sitting there on the 3 line with Talawanda. LaSalle has a chance with St. Xavier. They got St. Xavier, Harvest Prep, and then the 10th week is Elder. So LaSalle's got enough points to climb up maybe to the 2 slot even on this board. A Badin-LaSalle second-round playoff game would be mighty interesting, wouldn't it?
Well, considering my whole life, LaSalle was Division 1.
Yeah.
Now they're 2, and
They're
Badin
2.
used to be Division 4
Yeah,
at
they
one
were.
time.
They
So
were
you're-
5 at one point.
Yeah, so a Badin-LaSalle game just sounds so bizarre to me.
For a
because
playoff game, but it could happen this year,
it's so
folks.
traditional.
It could happen. You mentioned
What's the difference between a 2 and a 3? I know it's the amount of kids that
Well,
boys are in
it's
your
all
school.
done on male enrollment
All right.
for the men's sports or female enrollment for the women's sports.
Okay.
But then there's also what they call competitive balance, which is mean they're going to take all of your numbers and they're going to assign you to a division, but then they can bump you up 1 or down 1 based on out-of-district personnel. So basically, they're trying to balance out the private school, public school thing, striking a compromise. So the public schools obviously are kind of landlocked into their districts. The private schools can recruit from outside of their geographical area. And from what I understand, this actually hits Badin harder than most other private schools even, because Badin has to, all these private schools have to declare a home district. Badin has declared Hamilton City Schools as their home school district. So any kid, which they should, because they're in Hamilton, but that means that any Sacred Heart kids, for example, that live in Fairfield City Schools, in the eyes of the state of Ohio, are considered out-of-district recruits coming on in. Same thing with any of the Talawanda School District, Ross School District people that live out there that go to Queen of Peace, for example.
But Fairfield is right next to Hamilton.
Well,
I think it should be like a 10-mile radius.
Well, obviously, anybody that goes to Sacred Heart or Queen of Peace, it's a natural feeder
what do you
into
think
Badin
of my
High
theory
School.
there? You like that better
I like
than,
your theory.
Than the city?
What I think, Dan, is it's like Governor DeWine and the COVID restrictions back in the day where you had the bar closing at 10 o'clock and the memes going online about, well, COVID can spread at 10:01, but it can't at 9:59. Anytime anybody tries to set a line anywhere, there's going to be unintended consequences.
Yeah, like
along
dentists
with it.
not being authorized personnel, right?
That's right. You had a problem with the dentistry industry then at that point in time. But for Badin, it hits them hard, this competitive balance, because if all of their kids came from a few schools that were all in the same public school district, that wouldn't be so near so big of a hit. But Badin's always getting bumped up. I think they're playing, D2 for football here. I think they've been up to D2 in some baseball recently too, because it's just challenging, because they'd be a natural fit for Division III in their enrollment, but up they get bumped.
Okay.
Looking at for the Alter fans that are watching here. Here is Division 4, Region 16, and the Alter Knights right now are clinging to the number 15 line. If they could come back and beat Badin tonight, they would get 27 second-level points, but that ain't all that likely right now the way Alter's offense has not been able to generate anything against Badin's defense. Alter does have 3 previously existing wins. Carroll, which they already got 23 points for, and they're probably not going to get anything else for. Trotwood Madison and Withrow. And those 2 schools have not given them much yet, but are probably going to give them more in the future, because now Withrow's playing Hughes and Taft and Western Hills, the inner-city Cincinnati schools. Withrow has been much tougher than those guys in terms of schedule. Trotwood Madison doing the same thing for their Week 4 opponent.
I think Alter deserves an automatic
exemption.
Even if there was 18 or 17, they should be a 16.
They should be the 16th
Just
seed.
for the history of Ultra football.
We call that
dynamite.
It'd be like the SEC committee, right? Just putting another team in for the SEC or something like that.
Don't get Joel going on college football. He wants MAC schools in there, which I understand.
I want an automatic bid for the MAC champion. I don't want MAC schools, plural. I want one. I want one in there to get beaten up by Alabama and play your fight song on the air, but tell everybody you made the playoff. That's what I want. Playoffs. Roger Bacon, the 16 line, Fenwick, the 17 line. Both of them have chances to earn some major points tonight, as Roger Bacon will have their hands full with CHCA, and Fenwick has their hands full, of course, with McNick, but they're hanging tough early on in that game in Paradise. You see Springfield Northwestern on the 18 line. They got St. Paris Graham, who won their first game of the year last week. That ain't much there. Oakwood, Carlisle, Reading, Deer Park. Those are games that could go either way and could bump a few teams up into Alter's path, possibly.
I have to ask you, have they ever saw a live polar bear in Northridge? That's
I don't know.
Question.
Yeah, the Northridge Polar Bears are 14 there.
Is it really cold there?
Yeah, I don't know. The town is called Northridge, so I don't know.
Okay, that must be a fairly new school. I don't remember that school. Or they changed their mascot.
Oh, they're getting ready to start up again
we're
here.
talking too much.
We're talking too much.
All right, well, we got halftime. Here comes the kick.
That's it. Well, normally they reset the clock, but we may have talked right through it. It's very possible. Yeah, they're not quite ready to start yet. There's still time on the clock yet, but we are now getting ready to start the third quarter of play here at Bellbrook. Welcome back in, folks that have taken a little bathroom break or whatever during halftime.
Or didn't like computer stuff.
Didn't like computer points here. Halftime stats here, courtesy of Badin. First downs, Badin, 3 of them. Alter, none of them.
Boy, that's defense.
How's that?
Wow.
No first downs.
The Lem Grayson 65-yard touchdown run does not count as a first down statistically, nor does the long touchdown pass to LT
Look at that. Nice run back.
Alter's going to have some reasonable field position now.
Joel, I can honestly say in my career of watching lots of football games, I've never seen a team not have a first down the entire first half.
But that's absolutely something that Badin's defense is going to be thrilled to be able to do that.
Oh, my goodness.
Any other stats there jump out at you? And we can even give that to Michael in a second here and have him look at that and see if there's anything else that jumps out at him.
Yeah. Okay, we're looking.
First down and 10. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Yes, for Alter. They are starting at the 31-yard line.
Alter 41 yards in the first half total offense, and Badin 116, which 65 of it was on that one run.
Yeah.
So basically, if you take
another chunk of it was on the big passing play as Freshwater gets sacked there in the backfield by Badin's defensive line there. So looks like 55 is in there on the play, and number 55, that would be Tristan Tincher. Good to see him back out there playing. He was injured earlier in this contest. Michael, anything else you see jumping off the page in terms of statistics there in the first half? Because it's defense and more defense.
Yes, defense, and I see the possession time in favor of Badin right now, 11 to
Speak
10.
up real loud. I need you to project your voice. What's Badin's time of possession time? As Jones takes this.
Whoa!
For a little bit of room.
11:57 to 10:18.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, we got 11:57 to 10:18. That's an incomplete statistic because that's got to add up to 24 minutes.
Wow.
And that doesn't.
Maybe the punter took real long punts. 3rd and 5 here for Alder.
Special teams type of possession, maybe something like that. Yeah. It's very. Go ahead, Dan.
I was gonna say, what do you think? 2 runs, or you think they're gonna fire it here?
Well, if you plan on going for it on 4th down, you can do 2 runs. Otherwise, you got to throw. Freshwater.
He's got
his man.
Nice effort. He's short.
He's still a little tall for Jimmy Nagel, but Jimmy Nagel skied up there. Alter wants this first down spot. This is going to be close. They might actually measure.
Oh, that's a very generous spot. Very generous.
On the yard line itself. And
they gave it to him.
They're going to give him a first down. Alter's first down of the game, according to the statistics we were getting.
Jimmy Nagel, the senior wide receiver, 6'1", 173. He jumped like a basketball player. I bet he can dunk. I'll tell you, because he skied to get that ball.
1st and 10 for the Knights, as Freshwater in the pistol formation hands this off to Noah Jones. Jones is wrapped up and wrangled. We're going to give credit there to Sam Von Hagen for the stop there, as well as Trent Owens in the backfield for the Rams.
Yeah, that was great. Sam Von Hagen, he's 3rd in tackles for the Rams, the senior linebacker. 6', 180. I think they got his weight a little low. He looks a little stockier than that to me.
He's been eating some running backs in the backfield. He's going to pick up that weight a little bit there. 2nd down and 15.
Only Joel Sackenheim throws cannibalism into the broadcast.
Oh, delicious. Yes. Halftime score from the Swarm. Hamilton up 35-7 over Middletown.
Wow.
Now, fake handoff to Noah. And so Freshwater's
he's going to be sacked.
Brought down there. Badin's defensive line is starting to win this battle with the offensive line of Alter. And that looks like that's Rachel. Royce Rachel, number 28 there, with the sack for the Rams.
That's his 2nd sack tonight, and he has 7 on the year now.
Oof.
I'll tell you, if he could get sack bonus money. No, I'm kidding. This is high school.
That's high school football. I'll tell you, it's a heck of a night there by Badin's defensive line.
It really is.
As they are dominating at the point of attack.
3rd and 20. Boy, this is not where Alter wants to be to start the second half. We're down to 8 minutes and 46 seconds already.
It's really 21. The scoreboard, I know, says 20. It's actually a full 21 yards there. Freshwater running out of time. Dumps the ball off to Jones. Breaks 2 tackles, but wrapped up by 3 more Rams there. On the tackle, number 44, that would be Roscoe Martin. And Trent Owens also coming in there to make the stop. And Badin is going to force another Alter punt.
This is where I've talked with Joel, certain plays at work, the underutilized
the lateral.
Hook and lateral. Yes, I just think it's something that could work all the time. Nice play by the punter there.
Punt going to be fair caught. That's by Brown at the 31-yard line. We'll see if they spot him at the 31 or the 30.
You know, it's when you see a punter catch a ball like that and go down, you're always tempted to go down on one knee, especially if you're a baseball player. But if you feel that punt and your knee's down, you are down.
And you are down.
So he kept that knee about 6 inches off the ground there.
Badin fans, halftime score from Columbus. This will make your night. Bishop Reedy has taken a 28-7 lead over Buckeye Valley.
There you go.
Give them some playoff points. 5.5 for the Rams if the Silver Knights can be triumphant tonight over the Barons.
All right, Badin starting in the shotgun or pistol.
1st and 10 for the Rams. Handoff to Grayson. Going to try to bounce this outside.
Boy.
Wrapped up there, and Nolan Ogburn has been very, very good defensively. Number 28 for Alter.
If you like defense, and there's not a lot of people that do anymore.
Fantasy football's ruined that.
It really has. This game is just amazing to me. High school ball's wide open now. A lot of kids running the spread. You're seeing it in college. But this is just an old grinder game. You're seeing these 1-yard runs, no gains. It's amazing. You just don't see football like this anymore.
Ugly start of that play there. I think some Alter parents wanted a false start there on the left end of the line. It was a direct snap there to LT King, and King gets cornered and checkmated in the backfield there.
And if there is a flag, I think they should decline it because they lost the yard.
I think it would have probably been a false start, which would have deadened the play to begin with, but yes.
So it's going to set up a 3rd and 11 here. So Badin is behind the 8 ball here in their possession.
We're down below 7 minutes left to go in the third quarter of play. Joel Sackenheim, Dan Vogt, and our friend Michael Martz drove all the way in from Western Pennsylvania to hang out with us and watch a football game here on the Report Ohio, as well as the Badin live stream on Huddle and YouTube. 3rd and 11. Emerson. He wants to set his feet. He's got man coverage to Brink. Brink has been kept all night. And once again, Drew Cripps, and give credit to Drew Cripps for Alter. He has bottled up Brink in man coverage. That is Badin's #1 receiver for the year. And I don't know, you got the stats there, Michael. Does Brink even have a catch in the first half of this game? That's just your team stats, isn't it? So we don't really have that there.
Brink has 5 touchdowns on the year, by far the most touchdowns for receiving for the Badin Rams, a junior. #1 receiver, #1 in the GCL in yards receiving. So he's the man. You can see him sky for that ball.
Say cash. The ball is bobbled, and it's going to then be returned. That looks like that is Aze. And Aze, Okemdi Aze, there's 2 Azes on the team, bringing that out nearly to the midfield stripe.
Aze made it look easy on that play, didn't he?
He did.
All right, so this is an interesting drive here. Alter, they're up near midfield.
They've got field position for the first time in a while.
And really, this is, I hate to say do or die midway through the third quarter, but they do need
It's a little earlier for that, but
They need 2 scores,
They do. And they've not moved the ball they got one first down all night.
2 touchdowns specifically. I don't think a field goal is going to do them anything. They'll be down by 10.
That's right.
So let's see what happens.
First down and 10 for the Knights in the wishbone formation.
They're going to try and grind it.
Fullback Matt Jones right behind him. Handoff. This is going to be to Drew Cripps, the defensive back, playing running back now.
Yeah, Cripps is doing it all tonight, isn't he?
He's been
nice
wonderful.
Run there. Yeah, nice run. 3 yards doesn't sound like a nice run, but the way this night has went, it's more successful than most of the runs.
Badin's defense has been very tough sledding. Alter fans, this will at least bring a smile to your face. Halftime score from Welcome Stadium. Trotwood Madison, 60. Dunbar, nothing.
That's at halftime?
That's at halftime.
Bet the over.
Bet the over.
Don't even play the third quarter.
We had a game like that, actually. I'll tell you after this play here. We actually had a game that was similar to that earlier this year. Chris Vogt and I did. Pitchman goes out wide. That's Noah Jones.
Yep, they got holding.
This has got some potential, but there's a flag on the field.
I saw the hold as it happened right at the 50-yard line. The lineman right there, Neil, if you want to zoom in on him, they're picking him up. That's number 58. He was guilty of the infraction for Alter.
Gabe Librandi.
Yeah, Gabe.
Senior.
Gabe grabbed him from the back, and he really didn't even need to do it. That's what was so bad about it. Yeah.
Wrap up the thought about the lopsided games. Chris Vogt, week 2, and I had a Thursday night game down at Stargell. Madison played Gamble Montessori. It was 42-0 at the end of the first quarter of that game. It was 57-0 with a running clock at the end of the second quarter. They ended the game on a pick 6 that Madison returned back with 2 minutes left to go, kicked the extra point, and continued to run the clock, and they never kicked the ball off. They just stood there looking at each other, waiting for the time to run down, and then they shook hands at halftime, and they all left.
That's crazy.
And then they all got fruit snacks, I'm sure, after that was over with.
And did the audience get their money half off?
They should have.
They should have got a refund.
Freshwater. That looks like it might have been a busted play on that. The running back didn't time that potential handoff there, and it's going to be a third down and about 17.
Yeah. Well, that's what's bad about high school football. The play was from where the penalty was, so the hold was at the 50, pushed them back to the 41, and they gained nothing there. So this is quite a hole to dig yourself out of for Alter. 3rd and 17.
Well, when your offense is – go ahead, Dan.
I was just going to say, throw the ball deep. If they pick it, so what? It's almost like a punt.
Might as well try.
You can get a penalty. Just throw it down the field.
3rd down and long. Freshwater's going to look to do just that.
He's got time.
Scramble right.
Throw it.
He's got a short pass there. That's going to be caught by Mikey Rose, and Rose is wrapped up and brought down by number 41, Sam Von Hagen. And Badin's defense says, nice pass. That's cute. Now we'll go ahead and receive the punt return.
Well, he had time to – oh, we got an injured Ram down there. He looks in a lot of pain, too. He's kind of rolling around.
We'll see what we have here.
It's number 3.
Number 3 down, getting some medical attention.
Micah
That's Kai Samples.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Kai.
So we'll see.
He's
going to get up. He's kind of limping on his own power here a little bit, trying to put some weight on that leg. Hopefully he's going to be okay.
I hope
Let's
he just
hope.
got tweaked. Nothing serious.
Looking at some other scores, Moeller up 37-0 over a 1-win Cleveland St. Ignatius team. How bad have they fallen?
They were
the
Cole. Oh my God!
We've been around together too long, Dan.
They were the Cole Rain of their era.
Other lopsided football games in the Dayton area. Halftime score: Springfield over Beaver Creek, 50-0. Only 50 points there.
They're punting from the 50, and Badin is literally standing at the 20. That's interesting.
They don't respect Will Green's punting ability here.
He didn't get it there.
It only went about 20 yards in the air, and it takes a terrible roll.
Oh, my.
Oh, you could hear audible screams of disgust from below us in the Alter fan base as a net of 10 yards on the punt. Oh.
Punter's got to feel terrible.
Well, the sad thing for the punter there, for Will Green on that play, is if that ball hits about an inch differently and bounces the opposite way, he's got 40 yards on that punt. Instead, he gets 10. That's harsh. That's harsh.
Bad snap made him rush the punt, didn't it, Neil?
Just a little bit.
Good observation, Neil. It was, they've had a few bad snaps on their punts tonight. Alder has. They got to work on that.
We are in the 3rd quarter in Paradise and McNicholas with a 21-7 lead over Fenwick. Those keeping track of the other GCL scores going on right now. Direct snap to King. King's going to punch it up. He's going to get only a couple yards. Not much there.
I'll tell you. You're just waiting for something to happen here. Somebody to spring free. It's just been...
Dan, we've called a few Nick Yorty Badin games in the past.
Yes.
And there is a tendency in previous seasons to get a 2-score lead at halftime and then to just basically sit for the entire second half of a game. There have been many games. The Hamilton game of last year comes to mind as one of those instances where they had a 15 or 18-0 lead. You only get one field goal the second half, and that's it.
Incomplete pass. There's nothing in high school football that takes into account point differential.
That's right. It doesn't matter how much you win by.
How much you win by. If you win 11-10 on a late safety, that's just as successful as 71-10.
That's it.
So it doesn't matter about point differential. But I like to look at it just to get the idea of how powerful the offense is, and that's why I've been so impressed with the McNicholas Rockets this year.
Here's the thing about Badin. If your defense is that good, you don't really need any more points at this point. If you really trust them to hold Alter scoreless, and so far Alter's only got 1 first down on the night, their offense does not look particularly potent against Badin's defense. It's a really bad matchup.
Third freight Badin, we got a sack coming up.
Oh boy, Emerson is brought down in the backfield. Celebratory fist pump for Connor Watkins, the senior linebacker.
That was Morgan Montgomery, the senior defensive end for Alter, with the sack. 6'2", 191, nice tall, big kid, makes the sack. They're all kids to me because I'm old. I know I'll call him a man. That's fine.
All right, here's the lopsided final score of the night. Taft defeats Western Hills by a score of 76-0.
Wow.
That was not a basketball score.
That was a football score, 76-0.
Another great punt by the left-handed punter of Badin.
And here's Cripps going to try to return this. Alter needs a special teams play in the worst way.
Oh,
Cripps to midfield and finally brought down. A potential touchdown-saving tackle by the punter, Ben Sakash, going up there to the midfield stripe, meeting his return man. And so Alter, no harm, no foul on the bad punt at least. They're going to be right around the midfield stripe starting out. But Alter almost needed to break that thing to get this thing into a one-score game because Badin's defense does not seem to have a lot of fear in their eyes.
Yeah, think about that. Ben Sakash, yes. Junior kicker. That was just a huge tackle and over on this game. He would have been gone, Joel.
First down and 10 for the Alter Knights in the shotgun. Freshwater pitches the ball.
There's
play.
I like
Owens is going to throw it long. He's got a man. It is complete. Jimmy Nagel with a little swim move over the defensive back, Lem Grayson.
I love the play. That's what you got to do if you can't do anything. You got to trick the team.
Was that Grayson or was that 4 actually in coverage? I think it was Brown in coverage there.
Yeah.
A little swim move up and over. I'm sure the defensive back thinks, can I get a flag on that? Maybe, but trickeration from the Alter Knights who have the ball in the red zone for the first time all night.
All right.
And the plot thickens.
Yes, let's see what Badin can do to respond here on defense.
Freshwater going to hand the ball off to Owens. Owens with some room. He's going to punch this out to the 10.
Best run of the night.
It really is.
Isn't it amazing how having one great play like that, trick play, which I was calling for earlier.
Yeah.
I was wanting the hook and ladder or something different. They did it. It works. The running game opens up. They're 9 yards away from a touchdown here.
If you're Badin's defense, here is the good news. Alter probably kicks a field goal under no circumstances here.
No,
that's
right.
Touchdown or bust, most likely.
You got to guard the end zone.
The way
this
game is going, you can't play this for 3 possessions in the red zone.
And they're in the old I formation here.
It's like a pistol action.
Oh, it is a pistol.
It is a pistol with an H-back up in front of him. And a handoff, fake handoff. Freshwater keeps it. Tries to bounce it outside.
Badin says
nothing
no.
doing there. Spun around and brought down by Von Hagen, the defensive end.
I liked Von Hagen the way he walked back after that tackle. Had a little swagger in his walk. You could tell he was pretty pumped up on that. That was fabulous.
Third down and a long 4 for Alter, who really needed the yardage there.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, this is harder for the Knights.
There's no way they're going to kick a field goal. I agree with you. I think you got to throw the ball here.
We'll see what you got in your playbook. They've had to dig deep to get the ball moving at all.
I throw it down here to number 3, one-on-one coverage, Jimmy Nagel.
Pitch to Owens. Owens breaks a couple tackles and wrapped up.
He got the first.
He got a first down, and it's 1st and goal for the Knights.
Wow. Jimmy Nagel is caught on fire this drive. It's like
Owens actually 4, and he's down. Owens is now down.
Oh, yeah.
This is not what Alter needs.
Yeah, he's a junior. I got him down as their 3rd running back, so Rod Owens, hope he's okay.
Definitely. Had made the throw. Actually threw a longer pass than Freshwater's had as far as passing yards all game long.
Your 3rd running back is leading and
He's
rushing
leading and throwing.
and passing.
That's right.
He's doing
and then
it
he
all.
Punched it there for the very good first down gain and punched it there for the first down on 3rd. 3 key plays of this drive for Rod Owens there.
Well, while we're waiting for this young man to looks like he's getting up, he's going to be okay. Probably got the wind knocked out of him the way he's running off the field.
Hopefully that's all it is. The Alter fans appreciate his effort as they say he needs more cowbell.
I'll tell you, more cowbell.
They're ringing those cowbells strong here on the home sideline.
When you get the air knocked out of you, you do feel like you're approaching death. It's a rough feeling, man.
Ugh.
It really is.
We're down below 50 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter.
First
Alter
and
trying
goal.
to punch in their first score of the game right before they have to switch sides of the field, make themselves feel like they're in the game. Put a little pressure on Badin.
I think you're going to see crashing up the middle here. This is going to be fun.
If Badin can hold them on these next 4 plays out of the end zone, they will have a 2-score lead and can, again, continue to trust the defense. If Alter can punch this in, this whole game changes. Noah Jones. No,
Easy.
Freshwater kept it. The quarterback kept it around the end, and it fooled the entire Badin defense. And the Alter Knights are on the scoreboard.
Have you seen the quarterback do that in this game or not so far, Joel?
Very rarely. Once or twice, Michael, what do you think?
Yeah, perfect play call right there towards the goal line, crashing everyone down and
Trickeration.
right to the end zone.
Freshwater with the QB keeper. There's another injured play on the field. Dad, can you pick up who that is?
It's an Alder player. Good zoom, Neil. 12.
12. That's the fullback. That's Mikey Rose. Everybody from Badin went after him because it was a fake handoff to that fullback, and Rose basically took the brunt of the hit as the entire 11-man Badin defense came crashing in on him, and Freshwater went around the edge and had no problem whatsoever punching that ball in.
Boy, this is a Badin Alder game, isn't it?
Oh, you got to love this. What else would you rather have, right? Defense, defense, defense. You got to take advantage of whatever chances you have.
Badin now, with Alter being, if they make the extra point,
extra
down by
points.
6, they can potentially kick a field goal.
To go up by 9.
Yeah.
you're
I'm talking Alder can
Oh.
to cut it to 3.
Yes, but here's the problem. It
Yeah.
takes Alter some time to get down the field.
Assuming Badin doesn't
They've
turn
only
the
done
ball
it
over.
once.
Yeah,
that's right. Short
Badin-
fields would be a thing there.
Badin
You're right. You're right.
Can't turn the ball over, and that's what Alter, that's what they've been feeding off of with their 3 victories this year is turnovers.
Absolutely.
Oh, he's down a while.
He's been down a bit.
This might be more serious than getting a win knocked out.
Hope
of
he's
him.
going to be okay. Third quarter score from Germantown. The Edgewood Cougars still clinging to a lead there. 1-6. Edgewood has not given Badin many second-level points
And
this
that's
year.
2017.
20-17 over Valley View. Very, very close score in that game. I think our entire panel, picked Valley View to win that game, and
Yeah.
that'd be huge for Badin if Edgewood had to pull that out. It'd be huge for Edgewood because they'd be getting some second-level points trying to climb up into that Division II playoff picture there. Waynesville over Madison, 38-0. That's not particularly competitive over there. Halftime, Harrison beaten up on Talawanda, 49-7. That's not particularly competitive there. We talked about Mount Healthy playing Belmont tonight, and Mount Healthy, the team directly ahead of Badin on the playoff points. Mount Healthy is up 42-0 over Belmont. And Belmont, again, this is a crime in a way, is worth a few more points than Alter is at this point in time because Alter's played a tougher schedule. They've got a few more losses in there. So even though this is a much harder game for Badin to try to win, if they even do, because it's a one-score game now, it's not worth as many points as beating a Carroll or beating a Belmont, who have beaten up on some even worse teams as they go. They're bringing out the cart.
Oh,
Yeah, they are.
That's not good.
Let's just hope he can stand up and maybe walk towards the cart. The cart just wanted to get some
I guess some airtime.
television time.
Are they going to bring him back around or not?
Who knows?
He just completely passed him up
hold
there.
on. He's coming
He's
back.
coming on now.
It's like Benny Hill music right now.
Oh, my gosh. Oh. I just overran him. I don't know what. Yeah.
All right.
This is the fullback there. This is
He's
Mikey Rose having a hard time putting some weight on it. He's trying a little bit.
Let's see. It's hard to tell which leg
Yeah,
it
he's
is.
he's going to be kind of carried a little bit. Yep. He's having a
So
hard time getting pressure
looks
on
like
that.
it's that right leg is hanging loose.
Yep. Mikey Rose, he's played heroically as the fullback today. He's taken when you're the fullback in this triple option offense, you end up taking a lot of shots when you don't even have the ball because of trickeration,
Right.
Quarterback,
Because
he
everyone
kept it, but
thinks they're
everyone
handing
thinks
it
you got
to you
it.
and they boom.
It's the shell game. You got to kind of hit all 3 shells at that point in time.
Yeah.
Other GCL scores. McNicholas still up 21-7 over Fenwick in the third quarter, and at Glass Stadium here in Dayton, Chaminade Julienne now pouring it on Carroll with a 47-0 lead in the third quarter of that
It's
game.
always nice to call the closest game of the night, isn't it?
Yeah, this is definitely the most competitive game of the 3 in the GCL co-ed tonight, as everybody kind of thought it might be.
Sure.
For sure. St. X in the fourth quarter with a 3-0 lead only over LaSalle in the
3-0.
GCL South.
Wow.
That's a barn burner there at LaSalle. And again, LaSalle is in Badin's region as well. They can gain a lot of points if they beat St. X tonight, or they can drop a little bit. If they lose a few games, they got Elder and Harvest Prep. Maybe Badin and LaSalle might meet up in a first-round game. Could happen.
Look at that score.
Winton Woods and West Clermont, fourth quarter. Winton Woods with a 12-7 lead over the Wolves
You would
of
think
West
Winton
Clermont.
Woods would be a little bit more dominant in that
West
game.
Clermont's had a pretty decent year. pretty decent. Anderson, we talked about them earlier. All right, we got the extra point coming up here.
Here we go.
Anderson's got a big lead in their game
It's a
right
big
now.
kick, actually.
Kick is up. It's very important, and it is good.
All right.
And Alter, we've not even gotten out of the third quarter yet, but they have gotten what they've needed to out of the third. They have brought this thing down to a one-possession game.
So you think Nick Yorty might open up the playbook a little bit? You said how he likes to cruise with a little bit of a lead.
2-score lead is a lot easier to cruise with than a 1-score lead.
Obviously, I think this might have, Alder kept getting that ball around midfield, and they finally did the trick play, got down there, and naked quarterback bootleg. Some nice original calls there, trick and bait, and I liked it.
Yeah, definitely crossed him up. It was not the typical Alter run-of-the-mill playbook that you expect to see there.
Yeah, no smashes up the middle there.
37 seconds remain in the third quarter of play here. Joel Sackenheim, Dan Vogt, Michael Martz, my dad Neil Sackenheim on camera tonight. A mute. Total silence, right, Dad? Total silence. That's right. But here we have it. Badin Rams with a 13-7 lead. If you just joined us, it's been defense, and more defense for most of the night.
Real quick, Joe, why is Ultra playing it in Bellbrook Stadium?
Ultra does not have a stadium.
They do not have a stadium.
And after next year, Ultra will be the only team in their conference without a stadium because I hear that something is being constructed on New London Road right about now.
Yes. Short kick. Well, that's actually a good kick.
Brown is going to go ahead and return this from the 10. We'll see what kind of field position he can get Badin as he crosses past the 25 and the 30. Past the 35 and almost to the 40-yard line before finally being brought down by Parker Flanders on special teams for the Alter Knights. Big return there by Brown.
It was interesting because I watched Brink there. He was also back for the kickoff. He was running towards Brown, and I think there might have been a reverse maybe possibly on that kickoff.
Something that at least they want to get something on film at least, right?
Yeah. So that was interesting, but not necessary at this point. Oh, we got another player down. This looks like a cramp, number 4.
Cramps are at least fairly harmless.
Yeah.
We'll see. Badin's number 4 there. That's the return man, Declan Brown.
Right. Yeah, they're
Is
straight.
it Declan or is it Declan? It's Declan. We want to let's make sure we get his name right? You're taking our audio feed and everything else. We got to get that name right.
Yeah.
Declan Brown.
The classic straighten the leg up there.
That's a classic cramp. That's where if we had Dick Ballard up here, we'd be talking about pickle juice, right?
Badin's field we got our field done, and now they just put a goalpost.
Okay, can we hang on? It's Luke, right? Michael, can you give your headset to Luke real quickly? Let's get Luke on the air here. Give him a little audio time for us. So Luke is from Badin Huddle and Badin YouTube Sports. You're a graduate of Badin from a couple years ago, right, Luke?
Yep.
Okay. So let's talk about what you got going on there, Luke, for Badin's field.
So they've put the field up, that the turf is down, and then last week they just put up the goalpost, so we're moving along. Hopefully be ready for next year is the goal, I think is what they said.
Financially, is the money there to complete the stadium? Are they close?
I'm not the person to ask for that. I don't do that.
Come on, Luke. I thought you knew it all, sir.
We've been seeing the pictures.
Yeah.
And the pictures are really, really impressive. The one of them with the ray of sunshine peeking through the clouds, particularly.
Yeah, those drone shots, those are always pretty cool.
Oh my gosh!
And the nice weather's helped made the shots look better too. So.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt.
Nice trick play by Badin.
Oh yeah, the run out to the outside there.
I didn't see it very clearly, but I guess was that a direct snap to him?
Brink taking the wide back and going off the right end there, and it's the first time really Brink's had the ball in his hands all day long. He's
a mini pinch?
Not been involved much.
Thanks, Neil.
I feel like I normally hear his name a lot more in a game. And
I got a nice reflection in front of me from the press box. I can see the bank of lights, but it's right over the players.
That is going to be the end of the third quarter from here at Sugar Creek as the Badin Rams holding on now. So those of you that just joined us, we started giving you this recap, and then we had a couple injuries to chat about as well. Here's basically your recap. Badin Rams have had a couple of big plays offensively only. Lem Grayson on Badin's offensive possession that started the 35-yard line, punched it straight through for 65 yards, punched through the Alter defense, was off to the races, they couldn't catch him. And that was a 6-0 lead for Badin because of a missed extra point, might have been blocked. Kind of low, wobbly off the foot type of thing.
Yeah, his first miss of the year, by the way.
Alter has done nothing offensively for most of this game. They
had
no first downs at halftime. I know where you're going with that, Dan.
I know.
No first downs at halftime at all.
41 yards in offense.
My goodness.
I think they woke up a little bit at halftime.
Well, Badin was able to get a deep throw to LT King, take a 13-0 lead at halftime. Alter with some trickeration on the last drive they've had in the third quarter. A halfback pass flipped the field, put him in range, and a Finn Freshwater touchdown run has made it 13-7. Alter's defense has kept them in this game.
Whoa! Oh, my
Look
goodness.
out. Eze to the races and brought down finally at the end by LT King. That was the break that Alter needed, and there is very much life on the yellow-plated sideline, folks.
First time you've really heard the sideline much today. It's been pretty quiet all game.
My goodness.
Well, we were both saying earlier that Alter lives off their defense, and it set them up right here where they want to be.
How aggressive did you want to be, Badin? Well, obviously Alter clamped down on that one and got... Actually, Badin's kind of fortunate not to give up a touchdown on that, really.
Yeah, he gave him a stiff arm on the return, and the guy picked it off. He runs back punts, so he knows how to run in the open field.
Here's your 13-yard field, Dan.
I feel like that's been the first interception we've thrown all year. I feel like we haven't had one
Look at
yet.
Badin.
Yeah.
Oh, they come back and knock him for a loss.
Jones brought down from behind there. Alex Albrink grabs him, spins him around. Also, Roscoe Martin involved in the play there.
Now, Badin ultimately wants to force a field goal. I mean, if they're going to keep the lead, and Alter can kick one from here, not a problem. But, of course, Alter wants to get the touchdown, grab the lead, which is amazing.
Danny, we had suggested that Alter would probably not kick a field goal the rest of the way, but this is that rare circumstance on the short field. Depending on how these next two plays go, you might elect to do it because you still got enough time.
You got plenty of time.
Hand
Alter's
off
starting
there.
to wake up, which is not good.
That's not good for Badin, right?
There he goes.
And he's going to have enough for a first down, and you can see a little extra bounce on the step of the Alter Knights. Luke, you've seen this from Badin Alter games enough over the years. How many Badin Alter games have you seen?
This, probably fourth.
Rod
Probably four in
Owens.
a row. I remember last year we were at Fairfield. I remember it went like a really long game. I think we had a big injury, and I remember I lost one of my cameras because the battery died because it went so long, and it was like down to the last like second. It was that good of a game.
I think we were actually at Madison calling game, Dan and I were, and we actually tuned into your broadcast to see the end because it was like, I think, 29-24.
I feel like we had a really bad injury or a couple bad injuries. I think we also
First
had
goal,
a really
Badin
bad
with the stop.
ump crew that
They
game,
lost yards.
I feel like
They're going to give
Fairfield
forward
game, we had a really
progress
bad
to the 3.
refs that game, if I remember. That's one of those crew that's not known for being good.
Noah Jones is stopped. Dan, you're right on that on the call. Johnny on the spot. Second down and goal for the Knights.
They lost a yard.
They
on that.
lost a yard on that. They did.
Boy, this is, you can, got goosebumps going on my back right now. This is great.
This is a great football game. This is wonderful.
From
The
them being
scoreboard
quiet.
says 2nd and 2, but it's 2nd and 3.
Pistol formation with Noah Jones as the running back. Finn's going to keep it.
Oh, my
Rotter
goodness.
brought down. Oh, wrapped up. Big play. Badin defender, and Daddy just ran off your screen there.
It's crazy how just a touchdown can change this game. It's basically a brand new game. It's like baseball hitting a home run. It's like an entirely new game. You don't recognize it.
Luke, do you think that was Roscoe Martin that made that stop? I was trying to look at the screen there, and then he ran off the
That
screen,
would
and Dad
sound
kept
right.
him the quarterback.
His
I
name
know.
His
3rd
name
and
is
10.
heard a lot. So it wouldn't shock me.
All right.
He's one of our good ones.
Alter's, we're just so you know that we're down to 9 minutes and 20 seconds in the fourth quarter, so plenty of time in high school. 3rd and 10. Let's see if they throw it.
9 minutes left.
Man in motion. He's
Freshwater's looking for a throw. Coming back
got
across.
a man. Nice
Here's
tackle
the
by
wrap up.
Badin.
And Roscoe Martin, there's that man again. Joe Dorley caught the pass. He was hoping to break the one tackle and be able to scamper in. Martin did not let that happen, and we're going to have a field goal after all, folks.
Fabulous defensive stop by the Badin Rams there. It's from the hash. It's not going to be easy.
It's be a
24.
24-yard attempt for Jaden Mowbray.
At least on the interception, they were able to stop him, not like the Bengals where he just got all the way down the field. So.
Kick is up.
It's good.
That's a beautiful kick. Yep. And Alter has brought this thing within 3 as the screws continue to tighten in this ball game at Bellbrook.
Interesting. Alter's kicker this year, 2 for 2 on field goals, and prior to today, only 5 out of 8 on extra points. So that was a huge kick for Alter.
Well, and with the missed extra point, it makes them only down at the field goal, so it makes it even tighter.
Yep.
There are times, and Dan and I have had this conversation, and Luke, if you can give Michael that headset back, I'd like to get his opinion on this too. There are times that it's actually better to be up by 3 than to be up by 6.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know people people think I'm crazy when I say
You're
that.
not crazy at all.
The reason why people think I'm crazy, obviously it's better to be up by 10 or 9 than either one of those, but if you're up by 3, then the other team gets the ball, and they're really trying to get into field goal range first and foremost.
Yes.
Because if they can get it, send it to overtime, they almost like take an exhale, like, okay, don't screw this up. We're close enough. And if you're down by 6, it's
The whole playbook is
got
open.
everything.
Yes.
oh my gosh, you got everything.
Well, Bengals were up by 10 with 4 minutes to go in that game. They lost. That's the bottom line.
The one I'm thinking of, okay, we got a return there for Brink.
Everybody's been mad at Burrow. Burrow threw for 500. He's not.
Brink is past the 30-yard line on the play.
Nice start for Badin on the field
position.
position. Yes, sir.
The one that comes to mind in my mind, you're in Pennsylvania now. Do you remember week 2, Falcons and Eagles?
Yes.
The pass that Saquon Barkley dropped on third down. I don't blame Sirianni for making that play call. You're trying to cross him up, and if he catches that ball, which is wide open, you win. What I blame him for is on 4th and 3, deciding to kick the field goal to go up by 6 and giving Cousins the ball back with much better field position and the entire playbook open.
All right, we're down to 8:16 to go in the game. Badin with a short 3.
Touch pass. Brink is going to be tracked down. And look who that is again. Number 5, that's Cripps. Drew Cripps, yet another tackle. He's only a sophomore, Badin fans. He is going to be a hitch in your giddy up for the next 2 years. 2nd down and 8 for the Rams.
Makes you wonder if Yordi is a little gun shy about throwing the ball after that interception on the last series. This would be an excellent time, I think, if you believe in your QB. Little play action, little pass over the middle. They have 2 wideouts right now. We'll see what happens.
2nd down and 8 for the Rams.
Right.
Possible handoff to Grayson. Grayson's going to try to find any
Nothing.
space. Got about a yard. That's about it. Alters defense stiffening. Coming to life a little more because they know their offense has moved the ball a little bit. 3rd down and 7 now for the Rams.
Boy, you can feel the momentum shift here, and with Alter. 3rd and 6.
Lady Mo is meandered over here to the west side of the stadium, folks.
Badin's got to throw the ball here. They cannot run again unless they want to punt.
You almost wonder, given how aggressive Alter intercepted that quick little short pass, maybe you do a slant and go.
Oh,
Try to beat him over the top. Man in motion, that's Rachel. Toss sweep, Grayson, nothing on the edge. Tackle
right.
wrapped up by Ogburn.
Good call, Joel. You said earlier Badin did try and run wide a couple times earlier in the game. They were not successful. Badin played it too safe on that series, in my opinion. They're going to set up Alter. Alter's lining up at the 35?
We'll see where they end up putting Eze. Eze, the man who made the interception, is also going to be the man back deep for the Knights, as well as Cripps. 2 men to return this, as Sakash has been pretty good. What have we here? Okay.
It's a little trickery.
Just a little bit of window dressing, shall we say. Couple of shifts, but they've got it all ready now for the punt. Sakash is going to go ahead and punt this left-footed into the night. This is going toward Cripps, who bobbles the ball, scoops it up. Rachel's wrapping him up and finally brought back. And the tackle is not by Rachel, but rather by number 3, Kai Samples. Nice to see him back onto the field and ready to rock and roll for the Rams. We are just below 6 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. Badin and Alter. This is every bit of a game as you want to see, folks.
Morgan likes that offsides, so he's probably
The-
trying to draw the ball back.
Yeah, the Badin Ram that made the tackle on the
Rachel tried.
Yeah, he
but he didn't actually get him. Samples got him. Rachel dove, and he's down. Okay, Dad, I see what you're saying. Yeah, Rachel's the one who's down right
I
now.
think he's cramping up again. It's not real hot out here, guys, but you lose fluids. It doesn't matter if it's 50 or 80. It's
This
definitely
looks
a cramp.
This is cramps. Yep. Now, Badin can't afford to have him out. He is
Yeah.
a very important player on defense.
Got to load up the Gatorade.
He is their biggest returning starter from last year. They need him badly. He is, I'm looking for his year, he is a senior defensive lineman, 6 foot tall and 230 pounds.
Boy, he's hurting there. He threw his helmet off.
Let's look at a few other scores while we're kind of attending there to Rachel and his cramps. A lot of lopsided scores right now in the GMC. Lakota East over Sycamore, 49-6. That's third quarter. Hamilton over Middletown, 42-7. That's third quarter. Middletown, the Midi Magic has run out there.
And Princeton
Has
bounced
finally
back.
gotten the thing opened up against Fairfield, shall we say.
I think the coach chewed him out at halftime. It was tied. And look at that. It's
48-24 now for Princeton over Fairfield
That's
down
quite
in
a-
Sharonville.
Quite a
Is it
third
at
quarter.
Princeton or where's it at? Where's that game?
That game is at Princeton.
At
Yes.
Princeton.
Lakota West over Oak Hills, 45-0. That's not surprising. Mason now has gone final. Their game ended earlier with Coleraine, 31-0, the Mason Comets. Edgewood and Valley View are in the fourth quarter. It is still 20-17 in favor of the Edgewood Cougars.
So, looks like he's going off the field on his own. Looks like he'll probably get in there after he sucks down some Gatorade.
The Rams do not want him being heard. If you've ever gone to a Badin game, Dirk Allen says his name a lot every game. He is a big play person for us.
Finn Freshwater is going to throw that, and it's going to end up out of bounds, harmless, and for an incomplete pass there.
Nice play for a freshman, knowing to avoid the sack, get rid of that ball, and he did.
Bishop Reedy has taken a much wider lead over Buckeye Valley. 49-7 in favor of the Silver Knights. That's second level points for the Rams fans tonight. That's good news for Badin.
Okay, 2nd and 10 here. We're in the fourth quarter. 5:51 to go. Badin, who jumped out to a 13-0 lead, is now 13-10 as Alters had a heck of a second half.
Clinging to dear life, really.
Yes,
The defense has played well.
especially on the last drive.
That's right. They needed him badly in the last drive. They got it badly in the last drive. Handoff.
There he goes.
Look out. Cripps.
Cripps is running like a beast.
Bouncing outside. He's tackled and brought down by Von Hagen.
Von Hagen saves the touchdown. Cripps, he is just in a different gear in this third quarter.
Oh, my gosh.
He is a beast.
If Alter comes back and wins this game, Drew Cripps is the MVP. He has been fantastic for the Knights tonight.
Alter just
Alter's the
seems
red
to
zone.
want it right now a little more than Badin. I'm just telling you.
They're
You can
sensing
just see it.
They're sensing it.
They're in field goal range already.
Badin defense better buckle down because they're coming at you, folks.
At this point, normally Badin's got their backups in, so for it, being a game like this, it's not too normal.
That's right. Handoff up the middle.
That's 4 yards. Yeah.
Luke, you bring up an excellent point. When you're not used to playing all four quarters every single game, and we're seeing some of the cramping that has gone on in the field as well, that might be indicative of some of that.
Yeah, I mean, normally they got, your backups and then your, third rings in this point, normally in most games, but if we haven't had, this is probably our closest game we've had all year. Most of our other ones have been, well, I mean, the first two, that Hamilton game was a close one, but besides that, the other ones have been easy wins.
I'm wondering about that with the Ohio State Buckeyes tomorrow night. They've not been challenged either. They're
got
going to go up
Oregon.
against Oregon, yeah.
Oh, that's not going to be
primetime
easy.
game, right? They're on
7:30,
Peacock.
NBC. No, it's on regular TV too, thank God. You don't have to pay for Peacock.
Second down and 6. Noah Jones.
Oh!
Boom!
Nice
What
tackle.
a stick!
Yeah, speaking of streaming, people were not too happy this week when they announced that ESPN Plus is going to take the Crosstown this year. But as a student, it is nice because we do get to work those games, which is a really cool opportunity for us. So that is one of the cool things about my major is I've gotten to be on the field for 3 UC football games now, so it's a lot of fun.
That's
Oh,
good
I'm
stuff. Give credit, by the way, to Trent Owens for that big stick. I don't want to go
Third
through the
and
broadcast without his
6.
name being said.
3rd and 4. Thanks, Neil. 3rd and 4.
Alters in field goal range. There's 4 minutes remaining. Handoff.
Badin,
Spin move.
boom.
Absolutely not. And once again, Trent Owens has made the tackle on both of those plays. And now it's field goal time for the Knights again. And we'll see again.
Clock is running. We're down to 3:44 in the game.
Jaden Mowbray going to try to come out here and tie this game up.
Now he's got it centered beautifully between the hashes, so just kick it straight. To say
30
that-
yards out.
To say this is a big kick is an underestimation.
With it being 3 minutes, do you think they'll get the ball back
Bad
one more
snap.
time?
Oh, boy. I think it was blocked.
It was a bad snap. The ball rolled up there. Badin's giving himself credit for the block, and he should, but it was a bad snap. Ball rolled up there. Oh, my goodness. What a critical mistake for Alter.
That's huge.
I'm telling you, if this doesn't put wind in the Rams' sail now, nothing will. 3 minutes to go, 3-point lead. Oh, it was right there for Alter. Feel bad for the snapper there.
Oh,
He's got to feel bad, too.
That one
Alter's
looked
got
like
to.
the Bengals last week.
very nice, Michael.
It's got. All right, so what do you.
lost that week too. Actually, no, they've lost back to back.
Oh, my goodness.
The Steelers are a fraud. You can ask my son.
Who's a Steelers fan, right?
He's the biggest Steeler fan. He said they're the worst 3-0 team in football.
Touch pass to Brink.
Here we go. Nice play by Badin.
There's one.
Still a Steelers fan. He's got
There's only one thing I don't like about that play.
I raised my son.
Go ahead, Dan.
I raised my son to like local teams, but he loved Pittsburgh. But he's a good kid otherwise. I'll just say that.
Hey, Dan, if you were able to multitask your Steelers conversation there, the touch pass to Brink,
Yes.
there's only one thing you don't like about that.
He
You know
went
what
out
that
of
is?
bounds.
He went out of bounds.
That's right.
You're trying to run down the clock. You would love to slide down in
Put that
bounds
knee.
on that.
Put that knee down
Make
there.
sure your knee hits before you hit the white chalk over there, because Badin's going to run that play clock all the way down. They may end up taking a timeout here. It looks like they're slow breaking the huddle. They're down below
8,
10 seconds
7,
left to go.
6.
Unlike the
5.
first half, we still have our
4.
timeouts left.
They
Yeah,
better-
Badin has all 3 timeouts.
And they
indeed,
call the
and they're going
timeout.
to use one. They're going to use one.
Good job, Joel, on picking that up. Badin just was not in a hurry on that.
Well, again, you could have taken 40 seconds off the clock and still done that had you been able to slide down in bounds.
Right.
I appreciate what Badin is doing here. Luke, you've seen all the Badin games this year. Now, Brink has been their number 1 receiver on the season. We see the stats on this. First time I've gotten to lay eyes on my alma mater all year long.
Yeah.
My alma mater, too.
But here's the thing. Yes, that's right. But here's the thing.
And Niels.
Cripps has absolutely taken Brink out of this game. Brink has not been able to catch anything out in traffic, and you can see with the play calling, Yordi and crew have been basically creative. We've seen a couple of jet touch passes to Brink. We've seen a handoff to Brink.
They're trying to get
trying
him
to
the
get him the ball without throwing it to him, really.
I mean, you guys have been saying Cripps' name more than Brink. I mean, Brink's name, I feel like I've only heard maybe 2-3 times. I mean,
Yeah.
he's been very quiet.
There's been a lot of one-on-one coverage there, and Cripps has been the one that stopped them.
Also,
He's
some
knocked the
very
ball down.
questionable ones that I feel like should have been pass interferences. But
Well, here you go, folks. We got the Report Ohio
If it were
calling
the
a
Chiefs,
neutral
it would've been
broadcast
called.
with
Second
with
3.
the Badin Huddle people next to us, too, calling a non-neutral broadcast. I love it.
There you go.
Handoff up the middle, and they needed that.
They
if it
needed
were a
it
Chiefs
bad.
game, it would be called pass interference.
There you go. There you go.
Now, Ultra fans, Lem Grayson is the heart and soul of the Badin Rams, and Ultra, you have shut him down tonight with the exception of the 65-yard touchdown run. But that little play there, that 3-yard, 4-yard run, that was huge. The clock is
Badin
ticking.
needed that.
They're down to under 3 minutes to go. We're at 2:57. Badin letting that clock just drain right now. There's 15 seconds on the play clock. You'll see a snap here with under 5 if Badin is disciplined.
With that blocked field goal, too, it leaves them in control, too.
Yes. Got the ball, got the lead. What more do you want? Hand
Doubt
off to
they'll get the ball
Grayson.
back.
There he goes again.
Up the middle.
Using the horse.
Oh, yeah. That's about 7 yards of tough running there for Lem Grayson.
You know, it's interesting that you guys were discussing how Badin was cramping up a lot, and you're wondering about their conditioning, playing 4 quarters. But now you're seeing Badin here late in the game on the line, having to drive, burn the clock, and they're doing it. I mean, this has been an impressive drive when they needed it the most.
Momentum has shifted back over to the sideline wearing white as Alter will take their first time out. They would much rather be taking that timeout looking at a 2nd and 10 on defense than a 2nd and 3 on defense. But with only 2:33 remaining in the contest, Alter only has so many options.
One more first down by Badin. If they continue to run the ball game is over,
Devastating.
guys. It's over.
Devastating.
So think about that a minute.
Final score from Paradise, McNicholas over Fenwick, 35-7. That means no second-level points for Alter, and that means the points that Badin might have gotten tonight gets pushed back to Week 10, but they can still get those points. They just have to beat McNicholas in order to get them.
I was surprised that they picked that as the Skyline game of the week. I was like, I feel like of all the games this week, that was a game you could have picked. Not that big of a game. You had X in LaSalle.
And LaSalle, yeah.
I mean, I'm like, even that
would have been a good
Fairfield,
game,
like,
yeah.
I'm like, huh?
It was brought to you by Gold Star. That was the problem. All right. I'm not dishing Gold Star. I like them.
They're both good. 2nd down and 3 for the Rams. Handoff to Grayson. Alter knows it's coming. Can't stop him.
Wow.
1st down.
Kudos to the Badin offensive line there. They are firing off when the game matters. It's all up front, guys. That's what this game has been, basically. It's been offensive line versus defensive line. Not glamorous by any means, but this is beautiful to watch if you're a Badin Rams fan. They are taking it to them at the most critical drive of the game. Galter stops the clock, like you said, Joel, so they have, what, 1 left?
1 timeout left.
Okay.
And we're down to 2:25. So, Dan, you may have been a hair premature with needing 1 more first down. They're going to need 1 more beyond this.
Yeah,
But
I
even if
didn't realize
don't-
they only needed 3. I was a play off. I was thinking of the last.
even if they don't.
Well, the
Yeah.
2 timeouts have been canceling.
2
this time
timeouts. That's
anyway.
right, Luke. Even if they don't, 2 timeouts are off the board now at this point in time.
Right.
Okay. That's fine.
And if you're a Badin coach, you tell the obvious things. You know, we need to win the line of scrimmage, hang on to the ball, don't fumble the ball.
And go down inbounds.
Keep it inbounds.
Please keep it inbounds.
Well, all these runs, have you noticed, they've been right up the middle.
They've
there's-
taken the sideline out of it, haven't they?
yeah,
With the play
no
calling?
wide pitches or anything like that.
And they were kicking that field goal. That was giving me shivers of last week Bengals game. It was giving me that bad, like, gut-wrenching feeling.
Bad
Like,
vibe, huh? 1st down and 10 for the Rams with 2:25 left. Jet touch pass to Brink.
Stay in
He's going to
bounds.
run wide,
keep it in.
and he
stays
stays
in
in bounds. That's right.
I'm sure he was told that, too.
Oh, he must have been.
There's
There's the final timeout, I think, for Alter as Coach Dome Sights there. Dad, he's in the ball cap there on the sideline, Coach Dome Sights, in the brown hat. See him kind of pacing the sideline, and he's going to come out there. And actually, he's not even in the huddle, right? He's got his assistant coaches taking care of that right now. He's the one that's on the sideline farther down with the white hair. That's Coach Dome Sights. He's been there, 30-plus years, something like that. He's been there a long time at Alter. Very long time. Alter at one point in time, sorry, Badin fans, I know you're also joining us on the stream for your Badin YouTube. 22 straight Alter victories over Badin dating back from my freshman year in high school of 1999 going all the way through 2019. 19 was the first time, and that was the year that Badin lost to Ross. The only time they've ever lost to Ross was also the year they ended up beating Alter and breaking the streak. That was the time they broke the streak. And so Badin and Alter have gone back and forth. Badin has had the slight upper hand. From that point on, I think Alter knocked him off in the 2020 playoffs, but other than that, it's been a big deal.
2nd 10 here. Continue to see running plays.
Grayson's going to take the ball up the middle. Burst of speed, gets a couple of yards.
All right, they're out of timeouts.
They're out of timeouts. So the play clock's going to get reset to 40. We'll
Right
see
now-
when it starts running. It starts running right there. We're 2:03 on the game clock.
2:01 now. 35 seconds on the play clock. So theoretically, they can get a snap off here with 1:24. And even if they get 1 yard and it takes 5 seconds, Badin on 4th down can punt it. Alder will get the ball.
30 seconds-ish.
Maybe 40. Yeah, we'll see how long the play
How long
takes.
does the punt take?
Badin's going to take it all the way down to 0 and call a timeout, which is the smart thing
Looks
to
like
do.
that's what they got. They're
Badin
not even
also
bringing it
has
up.
had good punts today. They've had some that have cornered them in that real close to that end zone, so they could do that again. And
there's your
trap 'em down
timeout.
there.
Baden is going to take the timeout there.
All right.
So they're down to 1 timeout left.
So we have 1 minute and 25 seconds to go. It's
That's-
3rd and 7. Now, Badin, if they foolishly try and throw the ball, which I think would be ridiculous because it would stop the clock, and it could probably get the first down because it would be so outstandingly crazy.
I
to
would
do
not
that.
mess with that at all, Dan.
No.
I wouldn't.
Well,
I just wouldn't.
You're going to run Grayson up the middle. It's going to take, 5 to 8 seconds to do.
Here,
Then they're going to reset it, and
here's how conservatively I would play this, Dan. This is the one thing I would be most worried about other than a fumble on a 3rd down play here. On a say cash punt, I would want him directionally punting this ball out of bounds.
Absolutely.
I would not want to have any part of Aze, who has made the interception, or Cripps, who has had the long run from scrimmage. Setting up, I don't want any part of them returning.
Absolutely.
Ball. This has got Alter special teams written all over it.
Okay, 3rd and 7. The Cowbells are going big time down here.
Loudest about the Alter fans we've heard all game long as the handoff goes to Grayson up the middle, bounces outside. He's got to stay in bounds. He's got enough for first down. And that is all she wrote.
That was all Lem Grayson. What can you say? The senior, Coach Yorty, said earlier in the year he wanted him to assume the leadership role for the Badin Rams. He's kind of a quiet guy, but he leads through his play, and he was a leader there. He has just clinched the game for the Badin Rams. They're in a victory formation.
Even with him being a quiet guy, Dirk Allen says his name a lot during games. He is a very well-known guy in the games. He's constantly making big plays.
Well, he was absolutely stuffed there in the interior of the line. He had nowhere to go, but he hadn't been wrapped up, he hadn't been tackled, and he was able to have a presence of mind to bounce that thing around the outside. And when Alter's entire defense pinched in, all of a sudden there wasn't a runner there like they thought there was. Yep. Big play on third and somewhat long on that.
Yeah, it was 7. 3rd and 7. So one more snap here, and that'll be the ball game. And, boy, I enjoyed this one tonight, guys. This was great.
Oh, my gosh.
Just like last year. I mean, it was down to the last couple minutes. These games are always good. Probably the best game that we've had in the GCL all year.
It could have been the Skyline game of the week, don't you think?
It
definitely should have been.
Well, it's funny. Chris Vogt and I were talking before at our picks. We were talking, obviously, Dan, you, Chris, and I all had identical picks this week. We were talking about not looking like a lot of close games on the schedule. We were talking about Franklin and Ross maybe being the one that was hard to pick. And I threw him this one, too. I said, Chris, I picked Badin. I did pick Badin.
Right.
But I don't think this is going to be easy.
No.
And I think Alter is going to have every opportunity.
I remember last year. It was a nail-biter down the last, minute. It was. I mean, we in the press box were nervous as heck. It was a nail-biter, and I knew this was going to be a good game, and it's the best game we've had in the GCL all year. Probably besides Hamilton. That was a tough one for us. But besides that, most of them have been blowouts. And it's good to have a good, tough GCL games because most of those, we killed Carroll last week.
Yep.
What, 52-something?
56-7.
Yeah, 56-7. I mean, we killed them. That was no game. We had our backups within, the second half. This, it's rare to see our guys play, full games.
And for Alter,
the best 3-5 team I've ever seen.
This is another. I mean, they lost to McNicholas last week 7-3. They lose tonight 13-10 to the Badin Rams.
The future is there for Alter. They got a freshman quarterback who made some good throws tonight, but he's only going to grow.
He's going to learn.
Their main running back is a junior, so he'll be back.
Yeah, that's Jones. Drew Cripps, of course, is everywhere on defense that you ever wanted to be. He was a nightmare.
His name too much,
he was a nightmare for Badin to have to match up tonight. Alter's in very good shape for their future, but
and maybe they'll get themselves a stadium too. That'd be nice.
You guys said they lost McNick last week, right?
7-3.
7-3. Got them next week on senior night, right?
Badin's got McNicholas in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
They have Chaminade Julienne, I believe, on a Saturday night, I want to say.
I think that's our senior night.
That's
We're up
senior
at
night.
Is that Badin game at Chaminade?
It's at Virgil Schwarm, I believe.
I don't know where it is, but I think that's our senior night because I think we're up at McNick because
You're right. It's the game. The last game is at McNicholas. You are correct.
Yes, the last
about
game
that.
is at McNicholas. Pulling up the Badin schedule here, it looks like it is at Fairfield on Saturday the 19th. Badin and Chaminade Julienne next week, and the Alter Knights.
I'm going to call Badin winning that game, and then for all the marbles for
McNick.
Head-to-head. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, Alter. Here, if I want to give you guys a little bit of good news, if you're paying attention for Alter, here's what you got. You got Fenwick next week at Fairmont. You got CJ here against Bellbrook at the last game of the season. The Fenwick game is one that you very easily might win.
I think.
Should win. You'll be favored to win.
Yeah.
That could bounce you up to a fourth win, get you back up some playoff points, and then, of course, CJ and Alter, that game has gone so many different ways over the years. That Week 10 game is always wild.
CJ has been, the last 2 years, they've been a good game for us, too. They've not been an easy team. Carroll's been, pretty easy, and Fenwick's been decently easy, but those two games should be interesting games. Not like Carroll. That'll be a tough one.
That's it. Dan Vogt, anything else for the good of the order here tonight?
All I can say is Badin, Alter, they're always great games. Alter came in below 500, but Badin did not take them lightly at all. And Alter, make that field goal there. What we could be in overtime right now.
We could. I predicted overtime actually in my pregame score thing.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did.
And 13-10, final score. The Rams go home happy. Alter goes home knowing they can play with anyone.
But they just got to make the playoffs.
That's the thing about Alter. The future is bright for Alter, and you'll see him in the playoffs.
I don't know.
I'm going to give the Alter exemption.
They were on the 15 line coming in tonight. They got Fenwick next week. That'll help them some. But man, they might need the CJ game. It might come down to that, and that's a little dicey.
The coach is going to use this game film and show them just how close they were to winning this game.
Oh, yeah.
We watched it tonight.
Oh,
I mean, they really amped their game up here in the second half.
No doubt
Basically, Badin was shut out the entire second half.
They were shut out the whole second half. Michael, anything you want to add in for the good of the order?
That was a great competitive game by both sides. Very close. A lot of physicality, and both teams should be proud of that.
No doubt. Alter goes home licking their wounds. Tough loss for them. Badin Rams, you get 17.5 points. It's a shame you don't get more because that was not easy.
How about a player of the game? I'm going with for Badin. I'll go with the Lem.
Lem Grayson for Badin.
Sure. And
I got no problem with
you
that.
Like Cripps?
He had the 65-yard touchdown run, and he also had the key runs when you needed most at the end, trying to run the thing out.
Right.
As for Alter, absolutely Cripps. Cripps was everywhere on defense, and Drew Cripps, he's only a sophomore.
Oh, man.
Badin, you're going to see him 2 more years. That's not
get
really easy.
Get ready, Rams.
Get ready because he's going to come bring it, and he's not going to forget
he
about it.
He was a beast tonight. I call him the player of the game, actually. But
he was in a losing effort.
In a losing effort.
I mean, it was fantastic. Really good. Badin wins 13-10 over Alter. We're glad you all joined us. Hope you had a good time listening to a really, really good game tonight. And we'll see you on the flip side, wherever that happens to be next week. For Mike Martz, for Luke and the Badin Huddle and Badin YouTube page, for Dan Vogt and my dad, Neil Sackenheim. This is Joel Sackenheim saying good night from Sugar Creek.
Good night.